So hello, beautiful people. Such beautiful wishes coming through. The highest in me bows to the highest in you. May this be a beautiful, luminous day of your life. May the time we spend together this morning be a truly timeless time. May you reconnect with your essence. May you reconnect with the Guru principle within you, which can guide you far more unfailingly than any outer human guru. You discover the source of light within you. And may each one of us be guided, be blessed, be supported every step of the way. May this and every day be a luminous, beautiful day of our life. May the rest of our life be the best of our life. Best with truth, best with consciousness, and best with bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So many people. Lots of people sent me a message last night. I don't know if I'll make it in the morning. 7 o'clock in the morning. Don't know if I'll make it. Can I come at 7:30? Really funny. Great. So it's going to be a free-flowing session, as always. So take a minute to just tune in. Whatever's been happening this morning, just put it to a side. Just settle in. You can all take a deep breath. So I was just sitting quietly last night and wondering what we should do today. And I got some pretty interesting messages. So one is that just keep it light. It doesn't have to become a super spiritual, super mystical experience. It can just be a very relatable experience. The other interesting thing that came is that the Brahmaviharas, and I'll be explaining more about them. The Brahmaviharas are the four highest states of, you could call it emotional well-being, or they call the boundless states. There's no limit to how much you can develop them. The limitless states. So I got a sense that these states are very intelligent states, highly intelligent states, and you can actually invite this intelligence into your life. So in a way, that's what we're doing today. We're inviting this beautiful intelligence into our life. And then this intelligence takes over. It has a life of its own, it has an energy of its own. It actually even has a fragrance of its own. And so the sense I got is that I don't have to give you, I mean, I could, but I don't really have to give you a very traditional explanation of what the Brahmaviharas are and how the Buddha taught them and everything. It's the invitation that came to me last night was just tune in. Just tune in and let this intelligence guide this session more than the scriptures and more than what any learned person has said about it. Let this intelligence guide me and guide each one of us. So it's about connecting directly to this intelligence, each one of us, not through some words. I mean, of course, we will use words, but not through some famous enlightened person, as much as directly through our own experience. And we will experience this. And also for this session, we have about 3 hours. And of course, we'll take breaks in between. But for these 3 hours to be like a field, and we remain in this field. We remain in these brackets. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. Maitri is loving friendliness, loving kindness. Karuna is compassion. Mudita is appreciative joy. And Upeksha is a balanced mind, not perturbed by the ups and downs, the events of life. In a way, it's abiding as the context of life, not the content of your life. So, but that's not all, because within this, there are infinite other frequencies. We just say 4, but there are actually so many frequencies within this. So the invitation is just to stay in this field, to allow ourselves to immerse ourselves in this field. So whether or not I'm guiding you into a process, just stay in this field. Stay in this field of open-heartedness, open-mindedness, openness. Today is also a special day. It's Guru Purnima. It's the day we pay homage to our teachers, show gratitude to our teachers. And we have all kinds of teachers, the teachers who help us live a functional life in society, give us the skills, very important teachers. Our parents are some of the first of these teachers. And then we also have teachers who teach us to wake up in the dream. Because life is not just what's happening. Life, a big part of life is our interpretation of what's happening. It's the stories we are telling about what's happening. The same event, everyone in the family interprets it differently. How come? Because we tell a story. So there's another kind of teacher, which is incredibly important, the teacher that helps us wake up. There's a nice teaching in the integral framework. They talk about wake up and grow up and show up. So some teachers are pointing us to waking up, some to growing up, embodying and being empowered, and then some also to showing up. And they set a powerful example for us. Don't just remain in your head, live it. Wake up, grow up, and show up. And these Brahmaviharas will help us with all these 3 elements. So it's a special day. It's a Guru Purnima day. It's a day to express our gratitude. And the way I see it, that really all of life is our Guru. If you limit yourself to only this person is my Guru or this person is my teacher, then you actually there are many more possibilities. Everything, if I meditate, contemplate, this glass of water can be the most important guru I've ever met in my life. But I've got to be willing to pay attention. Everything I need to know, every question I have, the answer is right here in this glass of water. So are we paying attention? If you pay attention, all of life starts revealing its secrets to you. If you pay attention with love and with gratitude, then it just accelerates that process so much. So Brahmaviharas bring a very beautiful element in our lives. They bring an element of warmth and connectedness and flow. And the word Brahma is the highest deity in the order of deities, the highest deity. So Brahma Vihar is the home of the deity. So when we practice the Brahma Vihara, it's like we have given ourselves an invitation to Brahma's abode. We have taken a journey far beyond the strife and suffering of the human world. And we've given ourselves access to Brahma's abode. Brahma's abode is filled with light, filled with love, filled with compassion, filled with appreciation, and filled with equanimity. And there's a saying that those who practice this way regularly, then their home has its own a kind of energy of sanctity in the home. And wherever they go, they carry the sanctity with them. My teacher used to say, "Wahan par devta raman karte hain." So subtle beings, divine beings, like to hang out with such people and in their homes. Devta raman karte hain. So beautiful. So just without too many instructions, just see if you can just tune in. Somebody's asking what are the four. So it's Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, and Upeksha. That's in Sanskrit. In Pali language, the words change slightly. It's Metta, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekha. The same thing. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, or Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. And it means love. Well, I'll use the simplest possible words. Would be love. Loving friendliness is probably close, because love you get confused with. Okay, so we can say loving friendliness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity or balance of mind. So just a few little housekeeping things, that put your questions in the Q&A box, because I might miss if you have a question here. And any comments you have, you can put your comments in the comment box. Right? And any other thing. And of course, once in a while, we can also give some of you a chance to share. You can raise your hand and we can give you a chance to also vocalize and share things. And I've put a setting in this that you can upvote questions. So there's a question that you really like, a lot of you like. At some point we may have a lot of questions, and so you can upvote. And so that's a question even I have. And then I'll go first for the question that will get a lot of votes. That's a new setting I'm trying right now. So now, just first of all, very intuitively, without too much guidance from me, when I tell you that there are these 4 Brahmaviharas, how would you intuitively, in your own natural way, connect with these 4? I'm just going to give you about 90 seconds for each. All right. So for the first one, Maitri. Maitri means loving friendliness. So go ahead in your own way, in your own intuitive way. Connect with the Brahma Vihara of Maitri. Loving friendliness, loving kindness. Take a deep breath. And gently shift gears in your own natural, intuitive way. What's it like to connect to compassion? What does compassion mean to you? What's it like to tune in to this enormous intelligence called compassion? Just do it in your own way. Again, take a nice deep breath. And again, gently shift gears. And what's it like to practice or tune in to mudita? Mudita means appreciative joy. The basic meaning of mudita is your joy is my joy. Your happiness is my happiness. If you're happy, I don't feel less than. I feel as happy. Maybe I feel more happy than you. So tune into mudita. What is it like? And take a deep breath. And gently shifting gears to upeksha. Upeksha means equanimity, balance of mind. A mind that is not perturbed by the content of your experience. It's a wonderful gift to not be so shaken by ups and downs of your life, what people say, what people do. Tremendous sense of inner well-being. You can say what you like, you can do what you like. Things can happen the way they need to. I remain aligned. So go ahead and intuitively, in your own way, connect to this intelligence of upeksha, equanimity, alignment, balance of mind. You can all take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. So simple. And don't worry if you're not quite clear yet. We'll get you there, right? So, but it's just nice to trust yourself. We shouldn't always be so keen to get instructions. Because actually, instructions is just to keep your mind busy while the rest of you knows. You know it. So I just want to talk in a free flow for a little bit. And this is also communicating some of the underpinnings of what we are learning, the foundation. It'll become clear to you. So yesterday as I was sitting quietly and just checking in what is coming for today, so I got a very interesting thing. One is that this session for some of you is going to be a very significant session, really important session. It's going to be actually a very big foundation in your life. My teacher said to me that just like if you have a bowl like this and you drop a marble into the bowl, what's going to happen? This marble is going to spin, 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 and then it's going to come and rest at the lowest point of that bowl. It's not going to hang on the side of the edge. It's going to go right to the lowest point. So this teacher said to me that in the same way, just before you die, you will access the deepest experience of your essence you've ever had in this lifetime. That's going to stand out. Amongst all the experiences you had, the deepest experience of your own essence that you had, that's going to stand out. And that will be your support. When no doctors can help you, no relatives can help you, all the money in the world, all the fame, all the knowledge you've gathered, when none of that can help you, this is going to help you. This is going to be your support. This is going to be your foundation. And I've actually had a near-death experience. Some of you here, and in every 100 people, one person has had. So it's very common. It's not as uncommon as you imagine. So I've had a near-death experience, and that's exactly what happened. In those moments, there was crystalline clarity. Time slowed down. Time became super slow. And I was actually quite impressed with myself. Like, I did not expect, but I think all of us at some level judge our practice. Like, it was really that deep. But I was pretty impressed. It's there. So when it was needed, it was there. We actually are very poor judges of our own progress. Horrible judges. So don't believe your mind, what it tells you. So when that situation arose, it was there. And so the experience you're going to go through today, for some of you, this is going to be that experience. That's the guidance I got anyway. And so it's really precious. So it's really important that each one of you, and you don't know if that person is you, right? Could be any one of you. So just flow along with me. Right? No expectations. Just any process we're doing, just do it wholeheartedly. Certainly don't keep checking your phones for messages and all of that. That goes in a very different direction. Then that becomes like a knowledge session. This is not a knowledge session. This is an experiential session. You can take notes if you like, but the real thing that we want is for something to happen in the heart. There's an alchemy of the heart that needs to happen, and it will happen. There's no doubt about it. When I look back in my own meditation journey, I began at the age of around 16. Actually, I went to a school where we would sit in silence for 5 minutes before the school would start. Every day, we'd start and end the school with silence. There'd be some beautiful music played, which was very nice. But I wouldn't really call it meditation because we didn't really know what we were doing. We were just sitting, waiting for the music to finish. But even that is good for the nervous system of kids. For 10 minutes of the day, for them to just be. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. There's actually a school in Washington, D.C., which began, they didn't call it meditation because a lot of people don't like the word meditation. They just called it quiet time. And this was a school which was in a place where there was a lot of crime and there was gun violence, there was gangs, and there was a lot of problems. The school had a lot of problems. Kids would not come to school, and then they would play truant, and then they were coming from a poorer neighborhood. There were all kinds of things. But they began the simple practice of quiet time, 10 minutes in the day. Just sit, just be. And there's a YouTube documentary, I don't know the exact name, but maybe you can just search for quiet time, Washington, D.C. And it's powerful, the change that happened in a short period of time in the school. There's tremendous power in silence. So in my case, I learned meditation at the age of 16. And so when I look back at my meditation journey, then these experiences of Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, they really stand tall. There have been many experiences, many things which happen. We are taught in meditation not to get too hung up on experiences. So that becomes what's called spiritual materialism. Oh, I had this experience, I had this experience. And then you start creating identity around that. My progress is so far. This becomes a real handicap. Right? One of my teachers said that if you think you're enlightened, don't even announce it to yourself. Don't even announce it to yourself. Wait for 3 years. And life will show you how enlightened you are. Ram Dass had this nice saying, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a weekend with your family. Your enlightenment will be very clear how enlightened you are. I'll come to you, Kashish. If you can just put your question in the Q&A, we'll come to you, whatever you're saying. So for me, these experiences, really, these practices, they really stand tall. And I can still distinctly remember the different places where I have practiced this wholeheartedly. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. It's like I touched a different dimension. And they are emanating from your own inner being. It's not a manufactured state. These are attributes of your own inner being. This is a fragrance from your own inner being. Dukhi dekh man karuna jage. Aisa Brahmaviras. When you see someone suffering, let's say you see a bird, a little bird that's fallen out of the nest. Most people will have compassion. Oh my goodness, this poor little bird has fallen out of the nest. It's dying here. What can we do? How can we support this bird? Most people, it'll not be okay. Too bad. Yeah. That's the way life is. Most people will have compassion. They'll think, what can we do for the little birdie? You see a cat stuck on a tree. What can we do for the little cat? Right? Most people have compassion. So the natural, when the mind is not too colored with belief systems, the natural response to any suffering for any being, not only human, any being, is compassion, karuna. Dukhi dekh man karuna jage, aisa brahma vihar ho. Sukhi dekh man mudita jage. When the mind is not caught up in one-upmanship and this, we are conditioned into competition. Do you know the story of Ubuntu, where this sociologist goes to Africa to study this culture there, and he gets some chocolate cake, which these kids never get to have in this village. So he gets all these kids and he gives them a small taste of chocolate cake so they know what it is. And then he says, the rest of this cake is going to go to the one of you who runs fastest to that tree. So line up, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and run fastest to that tree. The one who gets to the tree first gets all the cake. So they hold hands. So they line up, and he says, "Go!" And the moment he says "go," he's surprised to find they all hold hands and they run together, laughing, laughing, laughing. They run together, and they go and touch the tree at the same time. And he's shocked. What was that about? How did that happen? So he asked them, "Why did you do that?" And they said, "Ubuntu, Ubuntu." What is Ubuntu? Ubuntu is a sense of oneness. Like, how could it be if only one of us gets the cake? None of us would be happy. We'd all be missing it. And that person, how can he he or she enjoy the cake if that's the only one who got it? They can't. So we realize the only way to do this is to run together. Ubuntu. I am because we are. Right. So the sense of connection. The nice saying in Africa: if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So these moments of connection. Why did I forgot what I was coming. Can you remind me the point I was making before this? Can you increase the volume? I just bring this closer to me. What was I saying just before the story? We have a group mind here, so you're going to help me out. Mudita, yeah. Yeah, natural. Yeah, we're talking about the natural sense of compassion. Yeah, dukhi dekh. Right, thank you. So, dukhi dekh man karuna jage, aisa brahma vihar ho. Sukhi dekh man mudita jage. When you see someone who's happy, the natural mind, that the inclination is towards mudita. It's only later on that we learn this competitive mind. Oh, because you got first prize, that means I don't get any prize. That means I'm not good enough. This is a learned state. Our natural state is not like this. Our natural state, we can rejoice in everyone's happiness. I remember feeling very confused. I was in school, and this is one of the early grades, and the teacher was announcing, "Oh, this child has come first. This child has come second. This child has come third." And everyone was clapping, clapping, clapping. And I'm like, okay, so what does it mean for the rest of us? I remember feeling, so what was that about? So only these three are special, is it? I was very confused. This very new way of thinking for me that, oh, someone's first, someone's second, someone's third. And so the rest of us, what are we? So this was taught to us. This is not our natural state, the sense of comparison. Someone decided some criteria and began measuring all of us. Very, very arbitrary. School is very arbitrary. College is very arbitrary. Even our normal standard of success, very, very arbitrary. You decide success based on how much money you have. Come on. I mean, how about how good a parent you are? Who measures success on that? How good a listener you are? How comfortable you are without your cell phone for an hour? That's a pretty good measure of success, I'd say. How well you take care of your body. That's also success. Isn't that success? So mudita is appreciative joy. It is rejoicing in the happiness of others. And may you have even more good fortune. Not that I feel less than. In fact, recently we did a very nice, we might do it today as well, let's see, mudita meditation, where all we did was, it's such a cute meditation, all we did was thought of happy people, successful people. And we wish them even more happiness, even more success. So the most good looking person, the person with the best wardrobe, the person with the best car, the person with the best job, the person with the most wonderful relationship, happy, loving family. And normally these things make us feel less than, but in mudita, they make you feel so happy for you. So happy you have this. It's amazing. So mudita is a lazy person's way to enlightenment. Dukhi dekh man karuna jage, aisa brahma vihar ho. Sukhi dekh man mudita jage. So when you see someone who's happy, the response of the silent mind, the natural mind, the intuitive mind, is mudita, appreciative joy. Your happiness is my happiness. Sabke prati maitri jage. So everyone you meet, the natural response is loving kindness. And you notice this with people who are open-hearted. That you could just meet them for the first time and right away you're like, oh, I just feel like, I feel so welcome here. I feel so grateful to be here. If people just welcome you, they just welcome you with open hearts. Somebody was recommending this documentary to me. Sunita was recommending a documentary to me called Kindness Diaries. It's on Netflix. I saw the first episode. And it's about this guy who decides to just put himself out there and without money and without food and without any plan, in a car that doesn't even have heating, he decides to travel from Alaska all the way down through Canada, through the US, through Central South America, all the way to the bottom of Argentina. And he said, I'm going to depend on the kindness of strangers. And sure enough, that's his experience. People open up their homes for him. People, give him food. People give him hugs. It's amazing, right? So we all have this. Our basic nature is Maitri. I remember this guy in the first episode, he's saying, so I'm in the mall. This lady in front of me is checking out. And when it comes time to pay, she puts a credit card, it's declined. She puts another credit card, it's declined. And she's rummaging through, what do I do? And I just step and say, hey, it's okay, I got it. No, how can you? It's okay, I got it. And he goes ahead and just pays for her groceries. And she's shy and she's embarrassed and it's okay, I've got it. Relax, it's okay, I've got it. And he's saying, why is that not the norm? Why does it seem like an extraordinary thing that he did? When you're seeing a person in front of you struggling to pay for their groceries, what's the big deal? You just pay for their groceries. It's all right. This is what we do, right? If you had that sense of oneness, you would not think twice about it. You just do it. You don't even think that you're a special, virtuous person. That's just what people do. And how did we lose that? That's Maitri, loving kindness. The fun story of Maitri. This guy is in a Starbucks drive-through restaurant. So he's waiting for his turn. And the line is moving slowly, the cars are moving slowly. The guy behind this person gets very agitated and starts honking and screaming. And I mean, in India, we are used to people honking. But in the West, honking is like someone's abusing you. It's a big deal. When you honk at someone, they really get offended. Now, the guy in this car, he's a Tai Chi master. Tai Chi is a kind of martial art, like a soft martial art, but nevertheless, it's martial art. He's Tai Chi master. Forgetting Tai Chi or Aikido. So he's a martial artist. He could very easily get out of his car and put the other person in his place, his or her place. So he realizes this, this feeling offended, this sense of feeling offended is coming up. This, I can't go ahead. There are cars in front of me. Why are you honking? Why are you abusing? What's up with you? But that's not going to do anything. And suppressing it also doesn't feel right. Just stuffing down the emotions. So now what do you do now? Getting out and fighting doesn't seem right. Suppressing doesn't seem right. What do you do? So he decides to just tune in. This is the beautiful thing. If you follow any path of inner looking, whether it's meditation or whether it's prayer or whether it's a path that shows you to look within, right? Not just one that look outside for answers, look within for answers. So he tuned in and he got an idea. So then he goes further. It's his time to get his, to pay. And he tells at the checkout counter, he tells the person, I want to pay for the car behind me. You want to pay for the guy behind you? He's been honking at you. He's been abusing you. No, I want to pay. It's not about him. It's about me. I want to pay for the car behind me. It's all right. So he gives his credit card, pays for himself and the car behind him. And then he drives off. He goes to whatever work he has to do. And a little later in the day, he arrives home to find his answering machine is bursting with messages. What's going on? All kinds of people are trying to reach him. Turns out that they want him to come back to the store. Why should he come back to the store? Because what happened next is unbelievable. He paid for the guy behind him. And that person was so shocked that this guy who I've been shouting and abusing has paid for me, that this person decided to pay for the person behind. And this chain had been continuing for hours. So they called this guy, the news channel was there. They said, we want to meet the guy who started this. And they interviewed him, said, how did this happen? He says, it was not an act of kindness. It was an act of consciousness. You see, when you're conscious, then this is how consciousness responds. Consciousness responds in a highly intelligent way, better than any book or any teacher could tell you. Your consciousness knows how to respond. You got to get out of the content into the consciousness. It's called Rigpa. Rigpa is sky-like intelligence. We all have it. And Shenpa is the stickiness which comes by believing our thoughts. So how beautiful is that? He started this chain of kindness. In fact, if you can give me a minute, I have this report. So he began getting emails from the other part of the world. Give me a minute. I'm actually going to play this video for you. You're going to love it. I have it in my laptop somewhere. All right, here we are. Let me share it with you. So this was a news report that was filed based on this incident.
That story we mentioned earlier, our favorite of the day, our NBC station in Miami, WTVJ-TV, was tipped off to something extraordinary that happened at a Florida drive-through Starbucks yesterday. It was a random act of kindness that caught on. One man started it by buying coffee for the person in line behind him, and it went on like that all day. Here's the report as it was filed by reporter Ari Adzer.
Thank you for choosing Starbucks. What can I get for you today?
Your drink has been paid for by the car before you. I had one woman who was totally convinced that it was candid camera.
You want to leave that for the next driver?
Thank you.
It started with one customer's gesture. Paying it forward, it's literally paying it backward to the car behind you.
I think it's awesome. I think it's going to spread a lot of Christmas cheer.
It's absolutely better to give than to receive. I think it's a great way to spread the holiday spirit.
Cappuccinos, frappuccinos, macchiatos, thank you very much.
And every customer that comes through the drive-thru has been smiling and saying, "You made my day."
Ironically, this chain of nice started with anger. Arthur Rosenfeld says the man behind him this morning was honking and yelling at him, so Rosenfeld, a Tai Chi master, responded with a bit of Zen.
It wasn't an idea to pay anything forward. Of course, I didn't know that all this would happen. And nor was it even a random act of kindness. It was something else. It was a change of consciousness. It was my desire to take this negative and change it into something positive.
There you go. We're going to take a break. We're back in a moment with our Friday Making a Difference report. That story we mentioned.
Amazing. Isn't that fun? So this is beautiful, right? So there are many lessons from this, but here's one. Between stimulus and response is a gap. That's where wisdom lives. You should really memorize this statement. Between stimulus and response is a gap. That's where wisdom lives. That gap, that pause is where wisdom lives. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the silence which receives all this information, and then that gets animated in one of these four forms. And of course, they have, it's endlessly creative, but broadly, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, the four Brahmaviras: loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity, a balanced mind. Dukhi dekh man karuna jage, aisa Brahmavihar ho. When I see suffering, the natural response of a balanced mind is compassion. Sukhi dekh man mudita jage, aisa Brahmavihar ho. When I see happiness, good fortune, the natural response of a balanced mind is appreciative joy. You rejoice in the happiness of others. Sabke prati maitri jage, towards everyone a sense of loving kindness. You're all my friends. You're all my friends. Everyone is my friend. I've got no enemies. Har sthiti mein upeksha rahe. In all the ups and downs of life, the mind remains balanced, equanimous. Aisa Brahma Vihar. This is how you got an entry ticket into Brahma's mansion. Brahma's mansion is not a physical mansion. It's a dimension of consciousness. It's a dimension of life which is accessible to every single one of us. There's not a paid ticket. And let me tell you, it's better than most of the things that are on offer for happiness in this world, whether it's great sex or whether it's drugs or whether it's achieve this and that and the other. When you taste these states of consciousness, it's like, oh, this is like the next level stuff. It'll beat all of that dry. It is next level stuff, right? Why? Because it is so close. It is just one step removed from your essence. These are four emanations from your essence. Just one step removed from your essence. So it's getting you back home. So if I had to give you very, very brief instruction for a lifetime of practice, I would say, enjoy the natural silence. Enjoy being, not just doing. Fine, you can do stuff, you can achieve stuff, great. But don't get so lost in your doing, in your having, in your becoming, that you miss the being. In fact, let the doing, having, becoming emerge from being. Otherwise, we keep on waiting for that day to come when we can chill. No, you start from chill. And then from a state of being, from a state of inner stillness, silence. And silence does not mean you'll have no thoughts. No, this is a deeper silence, which is unaffected by thoughts, which is unaffected by activities. In the silence is so beautiful. The entire dance of the universe can happen without friction. That's the silence. So the first instruction would be appreciate, enjoy, love the silence. The second instruction would be from that silence, let the appropriate response arise. And the four beautiful responses you can always rely on are compassion, appreciation, loving kindness, and equanimity. Good teaching for life, right? Here you have it. So I call it attention and intention. Attention is the art of being present. And intention is, may you be happy, may you be free from suffering, may you have even more good fortune, may you be not perturbed by the ups and downs of your life, may you realize who you are beyond the drama, beyond the story of what's going on. Let me look at some of the questions you asked. So we've answered Mari's question, I think. Yeah, it's Mudita. We answered that. Chavi. We all are using some component of these feelings in our own way, and our way is very restricted, very, very restricted. And these feelings are limited to my people only. How can I expand myself? Beautiful. That's exactly right. So we all have this. We all have these Brahmaviharas, but we tend to keep them within the, like, for example, I'll be friendly towards my friends. I'll have compassion towards my family. I'll appreciate when my friends and loved ones do well. If my colleague at work does well, I might have a little restriction. I should have got that promotion, not him or her. So this is very true. So this is why now you're kind of getting to the answer as well. Your definition of yourself. These Brahmaviharas are not some, I mean, you could use it like an affirmation, may all be happy, may all be happy, but that's not going to be the real fruition of this. The real fruition of this comes as you introspect, who am I? Who am I really? So for example, my teacher Ajahn Chah was famous for this very unique quality. He'd be sitting there, you'd come to him full of questions, so many questions to ask, so many things. You just go and sit there. And as you're sitting there waiting for your turn to speak, what is this, amnesia? I can't remember any of my questions. All the questions disappear. Like, it's so simple. It's so obvious. What is there to ask? Oh my goodness. And this was a phenomenon many people noticed. That they'd go to him with a long list of questions. When they'd get there, the questions would disappear. And life would just seem, it would feel silly. Even to ask, it would seem silly. What am I asking? Like, even as you're asking, like, what am I doing? Come on. Like, is it really needed? And another thing they would notice is a deep sense of being accepted as you are, seen as you are. You know, this, you can only experience it with someone who's done that work for themselves. I saw this beautiful TEDx talk recently, which I've been recommending to everyone. It's called, What If There's Nothing Wrong With You? What if there's nothing wrong with you? See, this is a beautiful statement of the Brahmaviharas. You appreciate yourself, you love yourself, you have compassion for yourself, and you're balanced with yourself. Exactly the way you are. Otherwise, this project is never going to end. You think, I mean, how old are you? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60? Has your project ended yet? Your project is never going to end. Your self-improvement project is never going to end. So the main message of this talk is look in the mirror every day. In fact, I want you to say this with me if you can, right? Either say it aloud if you're in a place where you can, or say it in your mind. You're going to say it 3 times. Just for today. What if there's nothing wrong with me? Now imagine you're looking in the mirror and you're going to take your own names. I'm going to take my name. You're going to take your name. So Nithya, just for today, what if there's nothing wrong with you? Say it again. Nithya, just for today, what if there's nothing wrong with you? And the rest of the world can line up. My parents can line up. My brother can line up. My teachers, my friends, people who've been with me, they can have a long litany of things that are wrong with me. And I smile and say, all right. That's your perception. And it's true. From your perspective, it's true. Right? There's a beautiful teaching. Everything is perfect and everything can be improved. But the first statement is more important than the second one. Everything is perfect. First, come to a place of everything is perfect. And then from that foundation, then everything can be improved. But don't start with everything can be improved. The wrong foundation to start from. It's a very shaky foundation. Because then there's no end to it. You miss the perfection. So yes, the baby is perfect. And the baby is going to improve. Baby is going to learn to walk and everything else. It'll learn everything in time. But the baby is perfect. Foundationally, we are perfect. This is very, very important. And I like to challenge the religions and the perspectives of this world, which start with the foundation that you're broken. You're broken. You have, you're basically flawed to begin with, right? I like to challenge these. Because in a way they have some truth in them, but they need to balance this out. See, there are two parts to self-knowledge. One is the path of purification, one is the path of recognition. The path of purification says, you're broken, you're flawed, right? And now you have to do this and practice this and improve this and let go of this and refine this and become this, right? That's the path of purification. And then there's the path of recognition, which says you are that. What you're seeking, you are that. Come on, wake up, notice. You are already the one you've been seeking all along. You are that. But you're going to forget, so remember. And then remember. Now, both of these paths have their strengths and weaknesses. The path of purification has a tremendous strength. The strength is it gets you into action. Like in my case, it got me into action. It made me leave my corporate job and become a Buddhist monk. And my God, I'm so messed up. My goodness, from bottom to top, I'm messed up. So much to clean up over here. So it made me a monk. It made me really practice really hard. But the whole time I was restless. Because no matter how much I practiced, no matter how much for other people, I was an ideal monk. For myself, I was even a broken monk. I was not even a good monk. Because when you think like that, the world becomes like that. You're never good enough. If you always look at how do I make it better, the so-called perfectionists of this world, it's a wrong phrase. We should call them imperfectionists. Because they always see what's wrong. The so-called perfectionists only see what's wrong. They're not perfectionists. They're the opposite of perfectionists. So that was my situation. I kept seeing what was wrong. And while it led to a lot of effort and a lot of practicing, and I would really push myself, I'd meditate, I'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd live in the forest, I'd challenge myself more than other monks. Spiritual competition, spiritual materialism. But really, it wasn't really so much about trying to get ahead of them. It was mostly, for me, I just felt this, I know there's so much to be done. I can't take it, and I never felt good enough. So for me, the healing was the path of recognition. The path of recognition is I am what I seek. For me, the penny dropped with the teachings of a teacher called H.W.L. Poonjaji, also known as Papaji. While I'd heard the teachings before, but with this particular teacher, the penny dropped. What a burden. I couldn't believe it. Really? Is it that simple? Could it really be that I am that? That I am that? I am what I'm seeking? And a great resolution happened. So the path of recognition has its own strength and its own weakness. The path of recognition, the strength is you are that. But the weakness is you intellectualize it and you don't live it moment to moment to moment. So it becomes a concept. Oh yeah, aham brahmasmi, I am that. I am the ultimate. I am that. Yeah, but is it showing up in your life? So this is the weakness of this path. So which is why every path has its strength and its weaknesses. So coming back to your question, Shavi, it is when your definition of yourself, like I was talking about Ajahn Chah. Somebody asked Ajahn Chah, how is it That when we come to you, our questions disappear. When we come to you, we feel so loved, we feel so seen, we feel so heard. What is it? What is the practice? Are you doing loving? Are you doing Maitri practice, loving kindness, metta bhavana, loving kindness practice? Is that what you're doing? And his answer was very unexpected. He says, no. I am in tune. I'm with that flow of impermanence, arising and passing. What a unique answer. He's not saying he's radiating loving kindness to everybody. No, he's in the flow of, he's become that flow of impermanence, arising and passing, arising and passing, arising and passing. He used to call it still flowing water. What is still and flowing? Yeah, still flowing water. He said this mind is like still flowing water. It's a paradox. It is still and it is flowing. It is flowing and it is still. I was sharing yesterday with this group that I wrote this once that, Buddhists sit still to experience the inner dance, and Sufis dance, they whirl to experience the inner stillness. That's how it goes. You sit still. In stillness, notice the movement, notice the dance. In movement, keep your stillness. So that was Ajahn Chah's answer. So to answer your question, Chavi, it's going to happen based on how your sense of self expands. If you think of yourself, oh, I'm a human being, I'm a family member, I'm a member of society, then you will have that boundary condition. In fact, there are 4 broad ways we can look at ourselves. One is, I'm a physical being in a physical universe. That's a valid way of looking at yourself, and that will give you a certain paradigm. It'll give you a materialistic paradigm. Second is, I'm an energy being in an energy universe. Third is, I'm a light being in a light universe. And scientists tell us everything. Matter is condensed light, is dense light. Everything is light, right? I'm a light being in a light universe. Or you could say, I'm pure consciousness in pure consciousness. And all 4 are true, and all 4 have their own. If you live by that, yatha drishti tatha shrishti, the way in which you experience life will be determined based on how you see yourself. So if you experience yourself as a physical being, your concerns will be mostly physical. Shelter, food, a good job, relationships, all of that. That's going to be your preoccupation because you primarily see yourself as a physical being. Your idea of health and healing will also be determined by this. If you get sick, oh, it's a bacteria, it's a virus, I've got to have a medicine. And that's fine, that's valid. But all perspectives are valid. And when you shift from this to I'm an energy being in an energy universe, now suddenly things start moving very fast. Synchronicities happen. Healing can happen rather fast. When I work with people with physical challenges, then the first thing I ask them to shift your mindset from I'm a physical being, I'm a physical body, to have an energy body. Why? Because physical body will take now months and years to heal. But energy can move instantly, right? So things really start flowing when you shift from the dimension, not just at the level of thinking, at the level of experience. Can you experience the flow of your being right now? There is flow happening within you. That's energy. So learn to tune in. Wherever you go, tune in. It's not just some woo-woo thing. You tune into the field. Everything is energy. Energy field of a home, of a room, of a person, of a tree. Sense into that. It is speaking to you. So from this point onward, the Brahmaviharas become more real for you, right? Because it's, and they can be experiments you do. For example, my teacher would do this experiment. He would, in a 10-day retreat, on the 9th day of the retreat, he would say, all right, think of someone you know, and for the next 1 hour, send them loving thoughts. Note down the time, note down the date. For the next 1 hour, send them loving thoughts. And when you leave the retreat, go and check with them what was happening at that time. And this is fascinating. You go and ask these people and they say, you know what? I was thinking of you at that time. Or I was having a really bad day and suddenly improved. Or I got a very pleasant dream. I dreamt of you. And more often than not, something interesting has happened for them at that time. So you're like, oh, this is a tangible thing. I've done so many retreats and this happens again and again and again and again. So I know it's not just a coincidence. It's a technology here. We're tapping into a deeper principle of life. If we do this practice of the Brahmaviharas, and one person says, this is incredible. Guys, stop. This is incredible. I was just thinking of this friend of mine. I've not been in touch with this friend for months. And I just did a few minutes back, we did this practice. I thought of my friend. I've got a message from my friend. Look at that. What are the chances that today, as I thought of my friend so strongly with love and appreciation and compassion, this friend has messaged me or this friend has come to town? And I'm sure you had the experience. You think of someone and they call you that day, right? So you start realizing, oh, they're the field. So the beauty of stepping out of I'm a physical being into an I'm an energy being is now you have more access to that field. Remember earlier days, the internet connection was a dial-up connection. You had connection, but it was kind of slow. So when you move to the third paradigm, I'm not an energy being, I'm a light being. Now you start getting broadband connection. Broadband connection, really fast. Things start moving really, really fast. In fact, yesterday I was contemplating what to do with all of you, what to practice with all of you today. The basic message that came is there will be a download of light that happens. It's not words. I mean, I can use words and everything, but there will be a download of light that happens. And that light will reconfigure your light. And that reconfiguring will be the blessing. And that reconfiguring will be the thing that sets the entire, all the equations of your life are going to change. At least the beginning will happen. Right? And even faster than broadband, meeting all of you through Zoom, for example, is meeting you in person, is giving you a hug. So that's consciousness. In consciousness, there's no separation. I'm only ever meeting myself. So if you think of yourself as a physical being, chances are your mind will be dominated by thoughts of problems, problems to be solved, problems to be solved. That's just the way it works. If you're a physical being, you keep bumping into other physical things. So someone who sees themselves as basically matter, physical being, more than likely is going to have a life full of problems. And they'll try to figure them out, but it'll be quite difficult. Life is hard. Life is hard. Earning money is hard. Relationships are hard. Everything hard, hard. A lot of these words like difficult, hard. The biggest cult in the world, I like to joke, the biggest cult in the world is difficult. No matter, and that happens whenever I teach anything difficult. They're very nice, but very difficult. It's difficult. Yeah, you know why it's difficult? Because you think you're a physical being in a physical universe. You, everything is difficult. You're carrying this huge weight, which doesn't even exist. It's an imaginary weight you're carrying. You can't blame them. They have to go through that. They have to, the tapasya has to happen. The burning, there will be a burning that has to happen. At a molecular level, there is a kind of heaviness that has got into your system. There's a kind of density that's got into your system. So we have to go through our practice and we go through it joyfully. The Buddha says beautiful in the beginning, beautiful in the middle, beautiful in the end. So we go through the practice very joyfully. Even if it's unpleasant, we go through it. A burning is happening, a burning is happening, a burning is happening. Tapasya, it's beautiful. And all the stuff. And you start feeling lighter and lighter. Your senses open up. Your intuition opens up. Your heart opens up. You start trusting life more. So when you shift from this physical paradigm to this energy paradigm, that is all energy. Now it gets fascinating. Wow. So that the first is the world of problems. The second is the world of possibilities. Wow, I can intend it, it happens. I can think of a friend they call. I can, want that difficult ticket for that concert, and I get it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Healing happens faster. Emotion, and you shift from physical healing more to emotional healing. In my experience, I found the vast majority of physical problems have an emotional foundation. In fact, I would go ahead and say 100%. 100% of physical, even the one that, an accident. Why do accidents happen to you all the time, not to anybody else? Why are other people so lucky? There is some belief system there. I had a friend in school, and he would proudly tell us all the time, I'm very accident prone, I'm very accident prone. And every week he'd come with a new injury, a new bruise, a new something. If you believe you're accident prone, you become accident prone. Your beliefs are manifesting all the time, right? So it's a beautiful shift from I'm a physical being to I'm an energy being. And this is where you start manifesting your intention rather fast. It's a very good, it's a playful place to be. But there's something beyond this. After you've done this for a while, you realize, all right, but isn't it like, okay, I know I know that I want a cool relationship. I want to live in a cool house. I want to have a cool car, a cool job. I can do that. I know how to do it. I've understood the physics of that. But then you go one step further. May I be a channel of blessings. Yeah. So now it's less and less about what I want. And what does this moment want? What does life want? May I be a channel of blessings for someone today. May I be a channel of blessings for someone today. May I be a channel of blessings for someone today. I am now a channel of blessings in the world. I am now a channel of light in the world. May you be a channel of blessings for someone today. You are now a channel of blessings for someone today. May you be the clearest possible channel of the highest possible blessings in the world. In the world. In the world. So this is a powerful shift. When you shift from I'm an energy being to I'm a light being. And light is simultaneously, every particle in the universe is photoreceptive and phototransmitter. It transmits and receives light simultaneously. You cannot give a blessing without being a blessing and receiving a blessing. Actually, this is where the Brahmaviharas live. This third dimension of light. This is where the Brahmaviharas are a form of highly intelligent light. It's a light that's alive. It's a light that's intelligent. It's a light that flows through you. It reconfigures your brain. It reconfigures your DNA. It reconfigures everywhere you go. The entire field around you gets enlivened. The possibilities inherent in the field get enlivened. Our very presence liberates. And you start accessing a dimension that is even beyond miraculous. It's a spontaneous dimension. This is also the world of surrender. Right. One model of reality, of consciousness, says that there are these 4 stages: victim, empowered, surrendered, and awakened. So if you think of yourself as a physical being, then you're a victim. Because other physical beings are troubling you all the time. Coronavirus is troubling you all the time. All right, so you're a victim. And by the way, we're going to oscillate through these 4 consciousness. So don't get hung up. So we're going to be here. We're going to be here. We're going to bounce around. That's how it goes, right? But the main point is, what's your center of gravity? Where do you abide most? Where do you hang out the most? And when challenges happen, where do you tend to come to most? That's the set point we want to change. It's not that when you get awakened, you're going to experience all 4. Because all 4 are true at some level. Right? In your home, there are many rooms. There's the bathroom, there's the kitchen, there's the living room, there's your entertainment room. There are all kinds of, there's the prayer room. But you probably visit all the rooms, but where do you hang out? Do you hang out in the toilet all the time? So you can decide where you want to hang out. You can just visit it and get out. You don't have to spend all the time there. So there is a victim, empowered is an energy dimension. Surrendered is this light dimension, surrendered. And awakened is that 4th dimension of consciousness. I am. Not I am this or I am that. I just am. I am that I am. Now there's no separation. So, there's a lovely mudra, Gyan mudra in India, Gyan mudra. This is the tamasic, this is the victimhood, this is the materialistic dimension, heavy, dark, dull. This is rajasic, desires, intentions, dreams, manifestation, the energy dimension. This is sattvic, the blessing dimension, the dimension of infinite blessing, maitri, karuna, mudita, upeksha. And with this, as we move from tamas to rajas to sattva, from the heavy matter dimension to the way of looking at life through energy, through looking at light, then the ego bows. This is the ego. Why is this the ego? You point fingers. You are like this. I am like this. This is the ego. So the ego bows. The ego bows and it touches the root, the thumb. And there's a 0 there. So you become a 0. The journey is to not become a hero. The journey is to become a 0. That's a good one. The journey is to become a 0. And this is where you become a 0. And in only the 0, it takes nothing to accommodate everything. Something cannot accommodate everything. Only nothing can accommodate everything. It takes a 0. And I was just reading yesterday that in the English language, 0 still occupies space. But there are certain languages in the world where the 0 is just a point, a dot. I mean, even a dot that actually is wrong, but that's the closest, the simplest symbol you can make in the world is a dot. I mean, it does not even occupy space. How beautiful is that? So, you are not going to rest in peace unless you realize the big zero that you are. Because, outwardly, you may be a big hero, you may be a great celebrity, you may be a great well-known person. The world may respect you. But inwardly, you're a bloody imposter. Pardon the French. Because the reality is you're just posing. And it's okay, it's cute that you're posing, it's fine. But know that it's coming from the actual reality is there's nothing there. There's no person here, it's just a process. It's a process that's unfolding. And now this process can unfold with the momentum of your proclivities, which are coming from your genetics, which are coming from your ancestors, which are coming from your culture. This momentum of this process can be based on that conditioning, or there can be a higher intervention. This light can start intervening. What we're doing today is the light is starting to intervene and is changing the trajectory of this process. And it is moving towards, instead of how can I just fulfill myself, to how can I be a channel of blessing? How can I be of benefit? And then how can I just be one? When you're one with everything, then there is no one and other. It just is, right? So in consciousness, it just is. So this is our journey. This is why we meditate with Gyan Mudra. This is why we meditate like this. I think we should take a break. Let's take a 5-minute break. Stretch your legs. Bring some water if you like. And let's be back in about 5 minutes. All right. You can look at your watch. I'll play some music for you. All right. Welcome back. Someone's asking, they missed. Okay. So if you think you're a physical being, you tend to abide in victim mode. If you think you're an energy being, it's the universe of intentions and desires, manifestation, right? Light mode, in fact, this is also how in the cosmology of many religions, this is how it's structured. And in fact, our body is the microcosm of the universe as well. So even your body is kind of structured, the lower parts of your body, the higher parts of your body, they're kind of structured like this. So, and then even above. So essentially, if you think you're a physical being, then you abide in human realm and below. So, and below is just, I mean, ultimately it's all connected, but just in terms of saying. So human realm, animal realm, then there are other invisible realms, ghost realms and things like that. Don't be afraid of ghosts. In fact, they should be afraid of you. Ghosts are cute. If you love ghosts, they just need love actually. And when you meditate, you may have experience of these kinds of things. So, and you don't have to believe this, but just take it, all right? So this is how the cosmology of many religions work. So there is a human realm, animal realm, there's ghost realm, and there's hell realm. And you've tasted hell realm, you know it, when you're so angry and full of hatred and rage and revenge. You're getting a taste of hell realm right there. Basically, there are three poisons that take us to the lower realms. The poison of delusion, just confusion, delusion, mind is all over the place, confused, deluded, nothing is clear. This is the resonance of the animal realm. Desire, thirsty desire, next thing, never satisfied, never content, next thing. Ghost realm. One of my teachers had gone to the US, and when he came back, he said, my goodness, it's full of ghosts. We said, why do you say that? He says, first of all, these people, their whole life is dedicated to materialistic satisfaction. So they spend all this time making a beautiful house and getting a perfect car. And then when they pop off, which is a fun way of saying when they die, then they can't let go. They want to hang around their house. They want to hang around that car. They get very upset. Who's this person now wearing my clothes? So there's a practice in almost all traditional cultures of when a person dies, then you do something on their behalf. You pray for them, or you make some contribution on their behalf. And the reason that's done is that being can then delight in the goodness done for them, and then they can rise up from where they're stuck. So our confusion resonates with animal realm. Our desire resonates with hell, with the ghost realm, and our anger, hatred resonates with hell realm. So we've experienced this, whether you believe in past or future lives or not, doesn't matter. We've experienced these realms right here, the three poisons. These three poisons keep us stuck. And now as we start rising above these poisons, so the first thing we start doing is we start looking out for somebody else. My neighbor needs help. My friend needs help. What can I do to support this person? The sense of let me help this person. The sense, first time you're looking beyond yourself, selflessly. There's a story of how the Bodhisattva's career begins. Bodhisattva is a being who's destined to get enlightened. So his career begins like this. He's in the hell realm. He's getting whipped by the guardian of hell. Just understand it metaphorically. You don't have to get all scared by this or just to caught up in these ideas. But there's a power, there's a metaphor here, right? So he's getting whipped by this guardian of hell. And he and another fellow they're pulling something that's burning and fiery and super heavy, and they have to pull this, and the guardian of hell is beating them. And this one can see that the other one just about to collapse. He just can't take it. It's so much, it's beyond bearable. So he says to the other one, you know what? You just pretend to push. I'll push. You just pretend to push. I'll take on the weight of this. And that one thought, the guardian hears that. How dare you say that? And he whips him really hard. That's the escape from hell. This is how you escape hell. You escape hell by thinking of the other. Animal realm. Why is there animal realm? Well, there are animals around you, right? So there's a frequency. All animals have their own frequency. And that's it, by the way, that's the basis. I mean, there are animals who are very enlightened. There have been, in Ramana Maharshi's ashram, there were cows and monkeys and animals who are fully enlightened. So that's just where you find yourself. But then from there, you can go as far as you like. So, and then there is there's the realm of wanting to support and help others. This is where we start. Actually, this is the foundation of being human. This is where it comes very naturally for humans. If you're hungry, I'll share my food with you. It doesn't come some animals would do it, but it's not always that easy for animals to share what they have with others. Some of them will do it. Some of them are amazing. But so I see you're hungry, I'll also share. This is like a basic foundation of being human. You look out for each other. And then you go one step beyond this and you start cultivating the mind states. So the mind state of gratitude, the mind state of loving kindness, the mind state of compassion. You start cultivating these beautiful states. And now this corresponds to human and above. So now the question that you had about, so as a physical being, yes, as a human being, I'm a physical being, but I have an opportunity to evolve, consciously evolve myself, to see myself as an energy being, to see myself as a light being, and to just be, and just pure being, right? And this corresponds to human realm, the Devic realm, the angelic realm, the Brahmic realm. The Brahmaviharas come from the Brahmic realm, which is the realm of pure light. There's no physical bodies here anymore. And then there is the sense that the pure being. And we're all going to get there. We already are there, but there's some coverings. That's our true nature. And the reason we do any of these practices is to penetrate the illusion. Layer by layer, you penetrate these illusions and you come back to who you really are. You wake up from the nightmare that you've been spinning for yourself. You wake up from the dreams that have been spinning. And so today is Guru Purnima. The word guru, darkness. Gu means darkness. Ru means light. Anyone in your life who takes you from darkness to life, whether it's the horizontal aspect of your life or the vertical aspect of your life. Horizontal aspect of your life, how can you have a good job? How can you have better relationships? How can you, communicate better? How can you present yourself better? How can you have a clean, nice, presentable, loving, feng shui-based house? Horizontal dimension of your life. And the vertical dimension of your life is waking up to who you really are, the foundation of your being. This is the big part of education that's missing. This is where no one's talking about this. So we have to, luckily, if you're fortunate, you stumble upon it, right? True education was first and foremost the vertical dimension. And then, of course, the horizontal dimension. But the foundation has to be, in fact, this for me is the meaning of the Christian cross. The vertical dimension is longer than the horizontal dimension. This alignment. And this vertical dimension is outside of time. Horizontal dimension is in time. Vertical dimension is outside of time. And you align yourself. So no matter how old you are, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on in your life, you have constant access to this vertical dimension of your life. So when we come for sessions like this, it is to access that vertical dimension of our life. And then that point where the cross meets So this is your journey to your essence. And this is the journey of your personality. And where they meet, there's a beautiful word that gets created. Essence and personality, persona. And the point of their meeting, this is called presence. And you live from presence, which means you know that you're a nobody. And yet you do the role of a somebody for the benefit of everybody. So that's presence. But we have to do this work. Unless you do this work, you will not be able to hit that middle point. Then you'll be lost in the world of person. It's like you're an actor in the movie and you've forgotten you're an actor. You're in the dream and you've forgotten the dream is going on. You take it all to be so real. And so of course it's going to be scary. You're in the movie theater, you forget it's a movie. Of course it's going to be so scary. It's going to be bewildering if you think the movie is real. It's so bewildering. You wake up within the dream. Alan Watts has a powerful way of saying this. He talks about how imagine that you have an ability that in a single night of sleep, a single night of dreaming, you can live a life of 75 years. And you can choose the life you want to live. So if you had that kind of belief, that kind of ability that I go to sleep tonight and I will live a life of 75 years. And I could choose anything. I could be a king. I could be a famous person. I could be a very handsome or beautiful person. So he says in the beginning, chances are night after night, you'll fulfill all your desires. See, this is how it goes. Step one is you fulfill your desires. Nothing wrong with that. You have to that's just something, that's just part of the evolution. You have to just go through that. If I had had a lot of suppressed desires, I couldn't be teaching these kinds of things. I've had to have some extent have fulfilled my desires, done those things. Otherwise, I'd be too restless to teach like this. So go through it, right? So the first few nights, maybe the first few weeks also, maybe, you'll just fulfill your desires. All your dreams you'll fulfill. But then after a while, you'll say, okay, now enough of this. Yeah, this is like become, I mean, anything I want, I can have it. So now you'll choose a more adventurous dimension, right? So now this is where you become an adventurer. You're not just about, you're not just a hedonist. Let's do the pleasant stuff. Let's do the exciting stuff. So now let's go to Mount Everest. But it's difficult going to Mount Everest. And let's learn to rock climb. Let's learn to go scuba dive. Let's and not that the risk over here. Anything could happen, you know. Going to Mount Everest, you could die. But you push yourself, you challenge yourself. Next, you take on an adventure. You go to the deep forest. So you take on challenges for yourself, big challenges for yourself. And then after many nights of those challenges, you think of one more wrinkle. And the wrinkle is this. You're going to forget that you're dreaming. Oh. So now whatever dream you have, you're going to think it's real. You've forgotten that you're dreaming. But it's all right because you know you're going to wake up. It's fine. But in that moment, you've forgotten that you're dreaming. And then he says, after all of those dreams and dreaming and all of these desires that are fulfilled and all of these challenges and tests you put yourself through, and then even forgetting, how deep can I go into the matrix while forgetting I am the matrix? How deep can I go? And then at some point, you will choose to dream the dream you are dreaming right now. And that is the moment of awakening. When you choose to dream the dream that you are dreaming right now. Because in that moment, God's mind is the same as your mind. The grand overall design, God's mind, God has created this. The grand overall design has fashioned this. And what the grand overall design wants, let thy will be done. What thy wants, I want. So it's a meeting. So this is our journey. This is our journey. And the Brahmaviharas will make this journey very sweet. It doesn't have to be a nightmare. It will make the dream really sweet and beautiful. So come, we've spoken enough about the Brahmaviharas. Let us now, for the rest of our time together, between now and about 10 o'clock, we'll just be even more deeply into the experience of the Brahmaviharas. The Brahmaviharas emanate from the gap, the stillness, the silence, the beingness between stimulus and response is a gap. That's where wisdom lives. So as I was contemplating how to share this with you, I got very interesting guidance. Don't teach it the traditional way. Oh, really? How am I supposed to teach it? You will be guided. So let's see what guidance is coming. So I want you to now just go ahead, don't ask how, just go ahead and step out of the belief system that you're a physical being. See yourself as an energy being. Right now in the body, you can experience some kind of movement, some kind of change, sensation, pulsation, vibration, warmth, coolness. You can all experience something. That's the flow of energy. Your breath is primarily about taking in prana. Prana is life force energy. So go ahead and shift from seeing yourself as a solid physical being to an energy being. And again, go ahead and shift from seeing yourself as an energy being to a light being. That's all light. Whether I know it or not, see it or not, it's all light. It's receiving and giving all the time. So you and the room you're in and the place you're in and the people around you and the things you're using, it's all light. It's a highly intelligent form of light. And now we're going to bring coherence into this. Like we know, a bulb shines light throughout a room. It's incoherent light. It goes all over the place and bounces off all kinds of surfaces. But the same amount of energy put into a laser, it's coherent light. It's all in the same direction. All the photons in the same direction. So now we're going to bring in coherence into this. And the first coherence I'm inviting into our space is the coherence of Maitri. Maitri, loving kindness. And instead of being kind of slightly chaotic or haphazard, now all the light of your being is nothing but light, starts to get crystalline. The matrix of your being is getting crystalline, getting aligned with the frequency, with the lens of Maitri. All are my friends. I've got zero enemies. All are my friends. Because behind anything or anything they do or anything that they believe they are, they're just lights. And I recognize myself in them. So light is getting established. The light of Maitri is getting established. And it's doing its own magic. Nothing has to be done. Don't try to think this. Just be open. And your brain and your heart and your gut are all getting reconfigured. It's like a software upgrade is happening. An operating system upgrade is happening. Just let it happen. Don't have to feel anything in particular. It's fine. Emerald green color. A very beautiful blue color. a really vibrant golden color. These colors are making themselves available to your consciousness. A software upgrade is happening. Blazing white light. Very tall violet light. Like a column of violet light. Incredibly tall. Soft pink light. A very warm and luminous orange light. As I'm saying this, just notice what happens within you. There's no set way this has to work. Just see as these patterns of light are arising within you. So what I'm getting is that all the 4 Brahmaviharas want to get installed simultaneously. not sequentially, but simultaneously. So basically we're upgrading the entire system from thinking of ourselves as the physical being to recognizing ourselves as the light being. I'm getting reminded of a powerful teaching from years back called the Universal Healing Codes. I'm going to recite these healing codes and you just experience what's happening within you. Just let it be like a little game. Nothing in particular has to happen. Just be receptive. Cosmic all is universal love. Cosmic all is universal love. Cosmic all is universal love. Golden yellow, golden yellow. Cosmic all is universal love. Golden yellow. These healing keys also come with certain elements. I'm going to recite the elements as well. You may or may not understand them. Just listen. Cosmic all is universal love. Cosmic sulfur, golden yellow. Cosmic all is universal love. Cosmic sulfur, golden yellow. Cosmic all is universal love. Cosmic sulfur, golden yellow. Cosmic all is universal light. Cosmic all is universal light. Blue, green. Cosmic all is universal light. Cosmic galanite phosphate. Blue, green. Blue, green. Cosmic all is universal light. Cosmic galanite phosphate, blue, green. Cosmic all is universal truth. Cosmic all is universal truth. Cosmic potash, astral white. Cosmic all is universal truth. Cosmic potash, astral white. Astral white. Cosmic all is universal truth. Astral white. Astral white. As I'm saying this, just see what happens in your imagination. See what's coming up in your consciousness. It's all good. There's no wrong way to do this. Cosmic all is universal life. Cosmic all is universal life. Cosmic all is universal life. Cosmic natural muriate red. Cosmic all is universal life. Cosmic natural muriate red. 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 Cosmic all is universal life. Cosmic natural muriate red. Cosmic all is universal understanding. Cosmic all is universal understanding. Cosmic all is universal understanding. Cosmic calcium fluoride, yellow green. Cosmic calcium fluoride, yellow green. Cosmic all is universal understanding. Cosmic all is universal understanding. Cosmic calcium fluoride, yellow green. Yellow green. Yellow green. Yellow green. Cosmic all is universal will. Cosmic all is universal will. Cosmic calcium lime, gray blue. Gray blue. Cosmic all is universal will. Cosmic calcium lime, gray blue. Gray blue. Gray blue. Gray blue. Cosmic all is universal will. Cosmic calcium lime, gray blue. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Cosmic calcium phosphate, blue green. Blue green. Blue green. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Blue green. Blue green. Cosmic all is universal knowledge. Cosmic calcium phosphate, blue green. Blessing you with universal knowledge. Calcium phosphate, blue green. Blue green. Blue green. Cosmic all is universal zeal. Cosmic all is universal zeal. Calcium, cosmic calcium chloride, light blue. Light blue. Cosmic all is universal zeal. Cosmic calcium chloride, light blue, light blue. Blessing you with universal zeal, calcium chloride, light blue, light blue, light blue. Cosmic all is universal power of mind. Cosmic all is universal power of mind. Cosmic all is universal power of mind. Cosmic magnesium phosphate, blue gray, blue gray, blue gray. Blessing you with universal power of mind. Cosmic magnesium phosphate, blue gray, blue gray, blue gray, blue gray. Cosmic all is universal wisdom. Cosmic all is universal wisdom. Cosmic all is universal wisdom. Cosmic galanite sulfate, bright pink, bright pink, bright pink. Blessing you with universal wisdom. Cosmic galanite sulfate, bright pink, bright pink, bright pink. Cosmic all is universal order. Cosmic all is universal order. Cosmic all is universal order. Cosmic galanite sulfate, blue with red streaks, blue with red streaks. Cosmic all is universal order. Blessing you with universal order. Cosmic galanite sulfate, blue with red streaks, red streaks. Your life is full of universal order. Back in sync with universal order. Cosmic galanite sulfate, blue with red streaks, red streaks. Cosmic all is universal discernment. Cosmic all is universal discernment. Cosmic potassium permanganate, purple. Cosmic all is universal discernment. Cosmic potassium permanganate, purple. You are blessed with universal discernment. Your life is full of universal discernment. Cosmic potassium permanganate, purple, purple, purple. Cosmic all is universal strength. Cosmic all is universal strength. Cosmic all is universal strength. Cosmic iron, yellowish brown. Cosmic all is universal strength. Cosmic iron, yellowish brown, yellowish brown, yellowish brown. You are blessed with universal strength. You are blessed with infinite strength. Cosmic iron, yellowish brown, yellowish brown. Down to your atoms there is universal strength. In every cell there is universal strength. In the core of your heart, universal strength. Cosmic iron, yellowish brown, yellowish brown, yellowish brown. Blessed with universal strength. Cosmic all is universal elimination. Cosmic all is universal elimination. Cosmic all is universal elimination. Cosmic silica, pinkish ivory, pinkish ivory, pinkish ivory. You are blessed with universal elimination. What doesn't serve you has been eliminated. Cosmic silica, pinkish ivory, pinkish ivory, pinkish ivory. Cosmic all is universal elimination. Cosmic silica, pinkish ivory, pinkish ivory. Cosmic all is universal health. Cosmic all is universal health. Cosmic all is universal health. Cosmic manganese, light blue, light blue. Cosmic all is universal health. You are blessed with universal health. Every cell is smiling with universal health. Cosmic manganese, light blue, light blue, light blue, light blue. Cosmic all is universal health. You are blessed with universal health. Your whole life is a song of health. Cosmic manganese, light blue, light blue. Cosmic all is universal peace. Cosmic all is universal peace. Cosmic all is universal peace. Cosmic copper, copper, copper. Cosmic all is universal peace. Cosmic copper, copper. The color of copper. You are blessed with universal peace. Getting a taste of universal peace. Getting a taste of infinite peace. Cosmic copper, 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 copper. Cosmic all is universal love, golden yellow. Cosmic all is universal light, blue, green. Cosmic all is universal truth, astral white. Cosmic all is universal life, red. Cosmic all is universal understanding, yellow, green. Cosmic all is universal will, gray, blue. Cosmic all is universal knowledge, blue, green. Cosmic all is universal zeal, light blue. Cosmic all is universal power of mind, blue, gray. Cosmic all is universal wisdom, bright pink. Cosmic all is universal order, blue with red streaks. Cosmic all is universal discernment, purple. Cosmic all is universal strength, yellowish brown. Cosmic all is universal elimination, pinkish ivory. Cosmic all is universal health, light blue. Cosmic all is universal peace, copper. Blessed with all of these universal qualities, universal elements, universal colors, powerfully upgrading the entire operating system of this consciousness, lifting you out of the nightmare and into the light of your being. Welcome to the Brahmavihara, the abode of infinity. Infinite love, infinite grace, infinite compassion, infinite appreciation, infinite elation, infinite celebration, infinite insight, infinite equilibrium, infinite freshness, infinite newness, infinite blessings, infinite blessings, infinite blessings. The summary of all of this, all the Brahmaviharas, and all of these different frequencies of light is infinite blessings. You just remember these two words, you've got it all. It's all packed into that. Infinite blessing. So wherever you're seated right now, for 1,000,000 miles in all directions, infinite blessings. Everything and every being in 1,000,000 miles in all directions of where you are seated. Because that's how fast light travels. Light is incredibly fast. So light takes no time to reach more than 1,000,000 miles. Infinitely blessed, infinite blessings. Everything is completely saturated with the light of your being. All the stories you told about yourself that were limiting in any way, all the stories you've taken on that were limiting in any way, infinite blessings. Let the light go and penetrate all those stories right now. Let the light get so bright that the film just dissolves. So sending light through the veil of time to upgrade all these stories back to light. Infinite blessings to the stories we've been telling or we've been told since childhood. Infinite blessings, catching the DNA in the cells and sending this ray of light backwards, healing all the ancestors, all the ancestral lines from both the mother and the father side, sending back this light, the Alpha and the Omega, the left and the right, the Shiva and the Shakti, sending back this light, healing all ancestral lines. They're the reason why the DNA is a ladder. We're sending this light right up this ladder, right back, all the way up, back to source. Infinite blessings to our DNA and the ancestors who are living within our DNA right now. Infinite blessings. Infinite blessings to the Guru principle within us that's been waiting for us to claim it. Claim it. Guru from darkness to light. You know this. You are this. Infinite blessings to the Guru principle waiting so patiently within you. You've been looking outside all this time. Time to claim it. Claim your inheritance. Claim your inheritance. How long will you look at shadows? How long will you look at inaccurate representations, reflections? Claim it, claim it, claim it. Claim the inner Guru. Infinite blessings to the inner Guru that's always been guiding us through our conscience, through our intuition. The inner Guru has already arrived. It's going to help the rest of us also arrive flawlessly, easefully, gracefully, joyfully. Infinite blessings to the Guru principle wide awake within us. Infinite blessings to our bones, all our bones, all our bones. We believed they were solid. Now we are realizing they're just condensed light. They're pure light, they're pure consciousness. Every bone, the smallest to the largest, is pure light, pure light, pure light. You are not a physical being. Well, you're not only a physical being. At one level you are. You're a being of pure light, pure light. Wake up to who you really are. Cut through the illusion. Cut through the dreams. Come back home. Infinite blessings to our bones and the bones of every creature. Infinite blessings to the quirks of our personality. They're not there by accident. Infinite blessings to our hang-ups and our funny, strange patterns and the things we just can't seem to get out of. All these quirky aspects of our being. This is God's sense of humor. Infinite blessings to our quirkiness, to the ways that we don't quite fit in, because that was the way we were designed. Because just for today, what if there's nothing wrong with me? It's absolute perfection. Infinite blessings to the quirks of my personality. Infinite blessings to politicians, playing a very important role in our awakening, challenging us, deep down. Infinite blessings to politicians, especially the ones we don't like and don't agree with. These are very high beings of light that have come to awaken our light, and they've taken on the difficult role of being hated and disliked by us. In essence, they are also light. We are also light. And sometimes it takes friction to create the spark. Infinite blessings to every politician I have ever judged in my life. That was just another me. That was the immature version of me that didn't know how to handle power. And I projected it outside myself. And I blamed and I blamed and I blamed. And right now, infinite blessings. I forgive you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you for playing this difficult role of being continuously judged by me. Infinite blessings to politicians. Infinite blessings to that part of me that's convinced this is not for me. I can't do this. I'm too far gone. I've wasted too much time. I don't know. This part of you requires a big hug. It's still hypnotized by the dream. Infinite blessings to the cute part of me that believes it does not deserve because something it did or something it didn't do, because of some sticky part of the dream. But even that stickiness of the dream element, infinite blessings to stickiness, infinite blessings to the part of me that's still convinced I am unworthy. Saturating the unworthiness with light. Infinite blessings. I'm going to chant the Metta Sutta by the Buddha. And you will not understand, perhaps, it's Pali language, but again, this is the language of light. So these are frequencies of light. This has been used for centuries to awaken the Brahmaviharas within people. I might translate it later on. For now, just receive the vibrations. Let the infinite blessings expand and penetrate all corners of your being that are still not seen as a blessing. And let it happen at the speed of light. And let it happen spontaneously. And let it happen continuously. Karaniyamath kusalena yantang santang padang abhisamecha sakho ujucha su ujucha suvacho chasumudu anatimani santusakocha subarocha apakicho chasalahukavati Santendriyo cha nipakocha apagabho kulesu ananugedho nacha khuddam samachare kinchi yena vinyu pare upavadeyum sukhino vakhemino hantu sabbe satta Bhavantu sukhitatta ye kechi parnabhutathi tasava thavarava anavasesa digava ye mahantava majjhima rasaka anukathula ditthava ye cha aditha ye cha dure Vasanti avidure bhutava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta na paro parannikubbetha nadhimanyetha kathachinam kinchi bhyarosana patigasanya Jnananna anyamanyassa dukkhamecchaya Mata yathaniyam puttam ayusa ekaputtamअनुरक्षे Evam visabbhabhutesu manasam bhavaye aparimanam Mettanch sabbalokasmin manasam bhavaye aparimanan uddhang adhotachiriyancha asambadhang averang asapatang tithancharam nisinno va sayano va Yavatassa vigatamidho etang sating adethaya brahmametang viharan idhamahu dethencha anupagamma silava dasanena sampanno kame suvinaya gedham nahi jatu gabhaseyang Punareti. And the next chant I'm going to do is what we chant in the forests. And when we chant this chant, it's radiating loving wishes to all beings in the forest, filling the forest with light, the light of love and compassion and appreciation and equanimity. And literally, the Buddha tells us, as you practice this, no forest creature will ever harm you because they can sense the vibrations. Virupakehi me metang metang irapatehi me chabya puttehi me metang kanha gautamakehi cha apadakehi me metang dipadakehi me chatuppadehi me metang bahupadehi me mamang apadako hingsi mamang hingsi dipadako mamang chatuppado hingsi mamang hingsi bahupado Sabbe satta sabbe pana sabbe bhuta cha kevala sabbe bhadrani passantu ma kinchi papamagama appamano buddho appamano dhammo appamano sangho pamanavantani sirim sapani ahivichika satapadi unnanabhi sarvbhumusika katame rakha katame paritta patikkam mantu bhutani soham namo bhagavato Namo Sattanam Samma Sambuddhananti. And in a way, what's happening today is a dying of all programs, whether you understand it or not, whether you recognize it or not. Something in you is dying, and it's good. It's good. It needs to die. Old skin needs to be shed. I'm going to now chant the funeral chant. This is what's chanted when someone dies. So let this part of you die and go in peace. It's time to step into the new reality. That's why you joined the session today, whether you recognize it or not. Kusala dhamma, akusala dhamma, abhyagata dhamma, sukhaya vedanaya sampayutta dhamma, dukhaya vedanaya sampayutta dhamma, adhukam asukhaya vedanaya sampayutta dhamma. Vipaka dhamma dhamma neva vipaka na vipaka dhamma uppadin uppadaniya dhamma anuppadin uppadaniya dhamma anuppadin anuppadaniya dhamma Sankhiletha sankhilesika dhamma asankhiletha sankhilesika dhamma asankhiletha sankhilesika dhamma savitakka savichara dhamma avitakka vichara matta dhamma avitakka vichara dhamma Piti sahagata dhamma sukha sahagata dhamma upekha sahagata dhamma dasanena pahatabha dhamma bhavanaya pahatabha dhamma neva dasanena na bhavanaya pahatabha dhamma dasanena pahatabha hetuka dhamma bhavanaya pahatabha hetuka dhamma neva dasanena na bhavanaya pahatabha hetuka dhamma achayagamino dhamma apachayagamino dhamma nevachayagamino napachaka नपचकागामिनो धम्म सिक्खा धम्म असिक्खा धम्म नेव सिक्खा न सिक्खा धम्म परित्ता धम्म महग्गता धम्म अपमाना धम्म परित्तारम्मणा धम्म महग्गतारम्मणा धम्म अपमानारम्मणा धम्म हीना धम्म मज्जिमा धम्म पणीता धम्म मिच्छत्त नियता धम्म सम्मत्त नियता धम्म अनियता धम्म मग्गतरमना धम्म मग्गहेतुका धम्म मग्गाधिपतिनो धम्म अपमाना धम्म अनुपन्ना धम्म उपादिन्नो धम्म अतीता धम्म अनागता धम्म पच्चुपन्ना धम्म अतीतारम्मणा धम्म अनागतारम्मणा धम्म पच्चुपन्नारम्मणा धम्म अज्झत्ता धम्म बहिद्दा धम्म अज्झत्त बहिद्दा धम्म अज्झत्तरम्मणा धम्म बहिद्दारम्मणा धम्म अज्झत्त बहिद्दारम्मणा धम्म सनिदस्सन सपरिगा धम्म अणिदस्सन सपरिगा धम्म अणिदस्सनापतिघा धम्म हेतुपच्चयो आरम्मणपच्चयो अधिपतिपच्चयो अनन्तरपच्चयो समनन्तरपच्चयो सहजातपच्चयो अन्यमन्यपच्चयो निस्सयपच्चयो उपनिस्सयपच्चयो पुरेजातपच्चयो पच्चाजातपच्चयो आसेवनपच्चयो कम्मपच्चयो विपाकपच्चयो आहारपच्चयो इन्द्रियपच्चयो झाणपच्चयो मग्गपच्चयो तम्पयुक्तपच्चयो विप्पयुक्तपच्चयो अत्थिपच्चयो नत्थिपच्चयो विगतपच्चयो अविगतपच्चयोति अनिच्चावत संखारा उपादवयधम्मिनो उपज्जित्वा निरुज्झन्ति ते समवूपसमो सुखो अनिच्चावत संखारा उपादवयधम्मिनो उपज्जित्वा निरुज्झन्ति ते समवूपसमो सुखो अनिच्चावत संखारा उपादवयधम्मिनो उपज्जित्वा निरुज्झन्ति ते समवूपसमो सुखो I'll play a beautiful song for everybody.
May the long shine upon you, oh love.
One more, this is sung by me.
सभी का मंगल, सभी का मंगल, सभी का मंगल हो। जन जन मंगल, जन 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 सुखिया हो। दसों दिशाओं के सब प्राणी, दसों दिशाओं के सब प्राणी मंगल लाभी होंगे। दसों दिशाओं के सब प्राणी मंगल लाभी होंगे। जल के थल के जल के थल के और गगन के प्राणी सुखिया होंगे। तेरा मंगल, तेरा मंगल, तेरा मंगल हो। मेरे सुख में शांति में, मेरे सुख में शांति में भाग सभी का होए रे, भाग सभी का होए रे। मेरे सुख में शांति में भाग सभी का होए रे। अंतरतम की गांठें टूटे, अंतर मन की ग्रंथि छूटे, अंतरतम की सभी का मंगल सभी का सभी का मंगल सभी का मंगल सभी का मंगल हो तेरा मंगल तेरा मंगल तेरा मंगल हो रे
You can all take 3 deep breaths, integrating all of this. Good fun. I like that you people are still around. So let's take a 5-minute break, stretch your legs, drink some water. And the last part will be more interactive. I'd like to take some questions. I'd like to talk about any practical applications of this. Some of you raising your hand. I'd like to hear from some of you. So take a 5-minute break, please. Stretch your legs, get some water. Come back in 5 minutes. Welcome back. Let's hear from some of you. I've been talking this whole time. So, Basu Datta, would you like to unmute yourself and share whatever you'd like to share? Basab Datt, sorry, got it wrong. Basab Datt. Could you please unmute yourself?
Thank you, Nithya. That's all I want to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you as well. Lots of love. Lots of love. Thank you. Jyoti Gupta, would you like to share something? You can unmute yourself, Jyoti.
Hi, Nithya.
Hello.
Can't see myself. Can you see me?
No, the video is off. Just go ahead. It's okay.
Okay. First, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I'm so glad I joined it again. I had half a mind of not doing it again because I've already done twice with you. But it was again so gratifying. And every time you do it, I learn something new. And also, it establishes myself more deeply into myself.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Tathastu. And Jyoti is in many ways, you're a living example of the Brahmaviharas. You do so much for your neighbors and the youngsters around you, and you're always in that giving mode. So I think you've really taken it. And also equanimity. If I can share how you lost your husband and the resilience that you showed right after that. You came for our 30-day retreat. And you're really a living, whether you recognize it or not, you're a living example of the Brahmaviharas. So,
Thank you
whether or
so
not
much, Nithya.
true.
Thank you.
So it's always
I
nice to
feel
be in
humbled.
session, but I think you're living it already.
I really feel humble, and thank you so much.
And we have Dhanashri Gurav, I think. Dhanashri, you want to share something?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dhanashri.
All through the feeling is so empty. I felt like crying. I mean, it's a good feeling, and it's again it's kind of you need to leave things like coming out from the physical world, and it's always like when you know that the energy and we get into that zone again, we come back to the physical world, and that's all constant figuring out, or maybe that happens all through. And with the session, of course, it's like be again coming back to the zone kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Thank you.
waking up, we're waking up the whole universe along with us. We're taking everyone along, right? So got to be a little patient. And I notice in my own journey, as I've shifted from physical to energetic, to light, to consciousness, my universe has also upgraded itself. The kind of experiences I have, the kind of conversations I have, the kind of people I get associated with, the kind of projects I get into. As my consciousness upgrades, as the filters start getting more transparent, my experience yatha drishti tatha shrishti. I think I say that line in almost every talk I give. Yatha drishti, the way you see it; tatha shrishti, the way you experience it. So, which is why start from home. Start from the way you're looking at things. Start from the gap between stimulus and response. That basic presence, silence, and then from there, Sabka Mangal Ho. May all beings be happy and well. I wish you happiness. May you be free from suffering. May you have even more good fortune. May you have a balanced mind. Whatever you're wishing for everyone, you're strengthening in yourself. And then this becomes the orientation. Now, this has an intelligence of its own, and it takes over your life. And more than you deciding things or doing things, that intelligence of the Brahmaviharas, that intelligence of the deeper, the arrow of there's a certain trajectory inbuilt into this universe of what it wants to become. It's just like a seed knows the tree it wants to become.
Mm.
And the plant knows the flower it wants to become. In the same way, this universe knows what it wants to become. We may not understand it yet. But we have to submit to that inner authority, that inner trajectory. And the less we resist it, the more everything just gets streamlined.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And Prachi, would you like to share something? Go ahead, Prachi. You can unmute yourself.
Good morning, Nithya.
Morning.
Guru Purnima. Happy Guru Purnima to you.
Yes, and to you.
You've been a very important part in my life for the last 10 years. And yes, I had my morning again where I cried and I thought I was again a new person. Thank you for this beautiful morning blessing. You've helped me through my journey of cancer and everything. I think I've known you for 13 years, not 10. And you're my blessing. You're the light that shines. Thank you for everything that you do for the universe and for me especially.
Beautiful, Prachi. Thank you so much.
Really blessed. Thank you for your blessing.
So in these 10 to 13 years, what is one thing that you have internalized from the things I've been sharing that becomes real for everybody?
I have so many things that I've taken back from you. I can't even pinpoint. I think you've changed me as a person, Nithya. I've become more calmer and I've learned the art of gratitude with you. I've learned so much. And I can't pinpoint one. I'm overwhelmed right now, but thank you for everything. You've been the person, and I can just say I'm so, so blessed.
But gratitude is a great one. That's kind of a key. If you just practice, in fact, for me, the Brahmaviharas, I don't necessarily go through all 4. I just practice gratitude. And that kind of summarizes it for me. So gratitude is a great one.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Really grateful.
Lots of love, lots of love. And we have Aparna. Aparna, go ahead. Unmute yourself. You'll have to press unmute, and we can hear you. So Aparna, while you're figuring it out, I'm going to let Malika have a chance. Malika, go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Very good morning. This has been one of the best Guru Purnima in my life.
So beautiful.
One thing that I found absolutely amazing is the Jnana Mudra, which we have been doing for umpteen number of years. But I am taking this Tamasic, Rajasic, and the Sattvic, of course. But then the best was the index finger, which you said is an ego, and it bends down uh, to join with the reality. It touches the reality, and we become zero. That is phenomenal. It just blew my mind away. So it's absolutely beautiful. This thought that I'm going to, and I'm going to use it on an everyday basis. Keep reminding me, because I'm someone who's very impulsive, and I keep jumping very frequently. And this would definitely bring me down and bring me to the zero state every time. And I'll consciously make an effort to be here.
Beautiful.
And this is my second session with you, attending a second session. But otherwise, I have been crazy about your YouTube videos. Maybe every night I would want to see that, look at you smiling, and then feel so blissful. So blissful.
Such fun. Great. I'm glad. Thank you, Malika.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. Wonderful. Thanks. And then, unfortunately, Aparna, you're not able to unmute yourself. I'm not sure what to do about that. Maybe silence is the answer. And Arun, Tambade, Tambade. Arun, go ahead. You can unmute yourself. You have to press unmute. There you are.
Happy Guru Purnima to you.
Happy Guru Purnima.
It was a wonderful session.
Lovely.
And your smile always gives me the energy, and you today taught me you are the one in the universe, and you are part of this universe, and there is no bad or good thing. Your views decide what things you are going to attach towards you, and I really got impressed about your webinar, and I'm feeling very energetic because of your smiling, your way of delivering the speech, and I feel proud about you and how to lead the life you taught me, and every moment of life, how to live the life positively. That you taught me very interesting, and I am feeling proud of you. Thank you.
I love how you're feeling proud of me. I think I should also learn to be proud of me. How wonderful. Thank you, Arun. That's really loving what you said.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. Arun also means sun, so it's your sun. Great. And we have Purvi. Purvi, go ahead. Wait a minute. I haven't unmuted you yet. Yeah, now go. Purvi is coming in from Australia, I think. Purvi, unmute yourself. Let's try somebody else. Let's try Ananfan. Ananfan, is that how you pronounce your name? Ananfan, you want to try? Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually Anandan Kumaran. That's a spelling mistake.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What kind of name is that? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I know it's a long time since I joined any of the sessions, but I guess basically I was more in, let me focus more on doing, and I think I have a lot of knowing from you already, and it kind of pretty much comes up every day. And I think a lot of gratitude to you as a guru. And I think one of the biggest advantages I have in treating you as a guru is I need not call you a guru. You give me the freedom to do that. You give me the freedom to challenge you, to fight with you. I'm sure we have had crazy discussions where I don't bow down to you and you welcome that. And I'm truly grateful that you let me be that rebel in your space.
You're a really good rebel, because behind that there's an honesty there. That's what. If you're just a rebel for rebel's sake, that's a different matter. But you really come from an integrity. That's beautiful.
And that's actually helped me open up a lot of vistas. And if you look at it, the logo that you would see is about delivering happiness, right? So this company, what we do, has a lot of manifestations of what you are told. And I think the biggest tribute, I'm also a mentor, so the biggest fulfillment as a person who is teaching is when the student shares what they have learned or what they have applied even more. So I'll share a couple of things. The first thing possibly is that if I kind of set delivering happiness, and one of the interesting thing about happiness is what I have learned from you, which I tell my mentees also, is happiness is not hedonistic, which you had just said, right? But it is about your ability to be with a discomfort, and the discomfort typically happens when there is a growth. And that is something which I kind of tell them. So when we say, I deliver you the ability to enjoy discomfort. So don't say, Kumaran, where is my honey? Where is my milk? Where is my money? So I'll say, no, I can actually handle pain. So that is something which I have been practicing myself and also with the team. And another thing which I kind of talk about is compassion and empathy and gratitude, right? I think as a company, what we have started doing is every Monday we have a meeting, and we start our Monday meeting with a gratitude circle. Every single meeting that we officially do, there is a gratitude circle at the beginning of the meeting. Each person advises very clearly and specifically about some gratitude to another team member, and that works really well. Then the other thing is about compassion and loving kindness, and I think sometimes I do get into the illusion that I am teaching, I'm making a difference, or I'm different, and then I kind of place myself against somebody who I totally disagree with. Like what the politician thing that I said, for me, there is one close friend. He's not actually a friend. From a friend, he's become an acquaintance because of difference in opinion. We usually go from acquaintance to friendship. For me, it's become from friend to acquaintance. And that's got to do with how I view him. And probably whenever I think I have become mature and I get this ego that, I am better than others, I'm more nice, I'm more acceptance, and I kind of get into the space where he is, I realize how much more I have to go. And I'm honestly, at that moment, it's a contradiction in my mind. I am grateful to him for he being who he is so that I can understand who I am. So my mind goes into a confused state. I don't know whether that's equanimity, because I'm both irritated with him and grateful to him at the same time. And this exercise of practicing equanimity is getting into that space who I'm uncomfortable with, whose thought process I'm comfortable with. The ability to get into that space, I learned from the practice of Brahmavihara.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And the more I get angry with somebody, I have to become compassionate. That means I know that I'm failing in appreciative joy or compassion. So I think these four things have manifested in different ways. I'll go on and on. Thank you so much
for sharing these very practical insights and examples. I think a lot of people can relate to it. Thank you. Good to hear.
And on a side note, I have seen you with the longest hair.
I know.
In all these years.
I kind of like my long hair now. I'm getting used to it.
Thank you.
Let me also, before I give some of you a chance, a lot of questions here. So I just want to take some of the questions that people have written over here in the Q&A. So Sri Ram Krishnan is saying, okay, let me just go by it from the top down. Okay, so how does one coexist in our human realm to energy realm and light realm and just being? How does one? No, you do. You just do. You always coexist, and it's the formula is transcend and include. So when you go to an energy dimension, you don't exclude the physical dimension. Like just because everything in energy doesn't mean I'm going to punch my screen because I know it's going to break the screen. So I transcend and include. When you go to the light realm, you transcend and include the previous two realms. Yes, there is energy. Yes, there is physical matter. So we don't reject that, but we transcended it. We have a deeper understanding of it, right? And same with consciousness. So you always coexist. Your center of gravity moves around a little bit. And the reason we're doing our practice is so that we have a high center of gravity. We tend to live in the dimensions of light and of consciousness. You know, in India, we have the saying, Sat Chit Ananda. It's a very profound thing, but here's my understanding. Sat is truth. So what is truth? Truth is what is happening now, what I'm experiencing. What I'm seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, this is truth. Chit, you realize that what this sat is nothing but consciousness. Everything, this glass I'm seeing is nothing but consciousness. It looks like a separate object, but it is within consciousness. It is consciousness. So the walls I'm seeing, the people I'm seeing, the experiences I'm having, sat, that is the truth. Chit, it is conscious. Conscious of it and it as nothing but consciousness. And whenever this happens, right there you have Ananda, right there you have bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. To see the truth as nothing but consciousness is instant bliss. And so this is the way we integrate all these realms, human, energetic, light, and being realms. Preeti is asking, how do you make a habit of this pause? What are the tricks to help remember this in the middle of a situation? You know, Preeti, the trick is don't be so tolerant of your suffering. Because life is constantly giving you feedback. Life is constantly giving you, you're contracting, you're getting tightening up. And then we persist with our illusions, we persist with our misunderstandings. And we think, oh, that's just the way life is. Like somebody was saying the other day, in India, we have the saying, adjust kar lo, adjust kar lo. It's like, you know, in marriages, and it's adjust. People are like that, adjust. And there's something quite fatalistic about that, adjust kar lo. There is a higher way. We shouldn't become so infatuated with our own suffering. So there's no habit to be made. Life is giving you constant feedback. Every moment there's feedback coming. And it's an invitation to get quiet, invitation to get silent, invitation to come back to the Brahmaviras, invitation to come back to the power of your intention. So there's no real trick. The trick is don't be so tolerant of your suffering. Tolerant in the sense, of course, you got to accept your suffering, but don't go and live with it. Right? Okay, so that was one. And then we have Arun says, how to overcome bad thoughts like anger, jealousy, and hatred. Well, first of all, don't even try to overcome them. Don't fight. See, what you resist will persist. Right. So there is the wisdom. How come when you get cut, your body knows how to heal itself? There's the knowledge there, there's the wisdom there, there's an intuitive intelligence there. How come you know when to sleep and when to wake up? The body knows when to sleep, when it's hungry, when it's thirsty. So why wouldn't your being know how to deal with anger and jealousy and hatred? The problem is we get too much into our head. Oh, they did this, they did that. Oh, my religion says this. Oh, the teacher says, forget that. Just come in. What is it like to be angry? Feel the anger, feel the warmth, feel that. Feel the jealousy, feel the bitterness, feel that hatred. And if you feel it, it activates the intelligence inside of you. The problem is we cover up with thoughts. And either a thought of what that person did and you're so lost in the story of what happened and what it means to you and what's going to happen next. And then the guilt, oh, I shouldn't be angry. I'm a spiritual person. That's also a thought. So either way, you're losing your intuitive intelligence. So I would say, go ahead and experience anger wholeheartedly. My teacher used to say, go feel angry, put a clock, feel angry, but you're not allowed to think of this and that. Just feel the anger. All right. Your anger cannot last. It cannot last for long at all. Without the momentum of resistance, your anger, jealousy, hatred cannot last. If you just allowed emotion, energy in motion, energy wants to move. The emotions want to go through you. They don't want to go and live in you. Allow them to move through you. Read that beautiful poem by Rumi, Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every day a new arrival. Look up that poem, The Guest House by Rumi. You can even recite it every day. Maybe if you want a teaching, that's the teaching. Recite the poem, The Guest House by Rumi, aloud every day. And then you will learn very soon how to treat yourself as a guest house. You're not a permanent resident of anything. You're a guest house. And Rukshana, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Will you be sharing the recording of the session, please? Also the music tracks, listening, realizing I need to listen to this again and again. I will be sharing the recording. So if you go to my website, belucid.in, I share all these recordings there. And the music track is the long time. I think I only played 2 tracks today. Let me see. I played Nick Drake, which is one of these things first. Nick Drake is a fantastic singer, a beautiful, amazing artist, very sensitive. Passed on before his time. Nobody recognized him when he was alive, but wonderful singer. And then we played The Long Time Sun, which I think is by Snatham Kaur, if I'm not mistaken. Snatham Kaur, Long Time Sun. And then, of course, yours truly. I sang the Mangal Maitri with Bela Bihar. That's available on SoundCloud. If you go to SoundCloud and search for Mangal Maitri or my name, you'll probably get it. Bela Bahar is a very unique instrument. There are only a few of them in the world. So my friend played that instrument for me. So that's that. And then Loella is asking, so is there any good reason at all to evoke this competitive mind in kids? You know, there is competition in life, but that's one part of the whole equation. You know, there is in fact, we already have, like when you play a game, there is a bit of competitive spirit. No one has to teach that to you. You do have inbuilt within us is competition and also cooperation and collaboration. What's happened is there's too much emphasis on competition, and that's become like the whole dominating mindset. That's all. Yeah, we will have some competition that can be healthy. Like in the Olympics, it really gets people to practice at a very high level. The competition also has its place. Everything that's there has its place. Getting too much hung up on cooperation also may be a distortion, right? So both, like in your body, a competition is going on. Your immune cells are fighting. Every time you breathe in, you're breathing in all kinds of viruses and bacteria and whatnot. And there's a competition going on, but there's also a collaboration going on. So it's just about finding the balance. I would say the real way to evoke it in children is how can we do even better? Growth mindset, right? Growth mindset is how can I do better next time? And not that I'm like this or you are like this, but if I put in the right efforts, if I learn from my mistakes, I'm going to get better and better. So we use the competition really to inspire ourselves to get to the next level. That more than anything else. Maybe that's a good way of looking at it. How to naturally tune in to these fields. Just by deciding to, yeah. I think Mari has replied with a smile and a silent thank you. Beautiful. That's exactly it. First of all, you are already naturally tuned into these fields. I would say stop tuning out of these fields. That is your natural state, actually. It doesn't take an effort. It takes see, this is the funny thing. It's the effort to be effortless. We've gotten so used to our resistance that it takes a little bit of effort to get effortless. But actually, it's an effortless thing. It's who you are. So just like start with this one. I told you, look in the mirror and say, just for today, what if there's nothing wrong with me? Just for today, what if there's nothing wrong with me? This will lead to an enormous silencing. There are 3 viruses that are there in humanity. Did you know there are 3 viruses? These viruses are there inbuilt into our systems, into our way of thinking. The first virus is, I'm not good enough. Or at the very least, I'm not good enough yet. This is the first virus. Almost everyone has this virus at some level. I'm not good enough. This is the first virus thought that is inbuilt into our society and into all of our thinking. Second virus is that there's not enough. There's not enough money, there's not enough time, there's not enough, there's not enough. Just look in the sky and see, really, are there not enough stars? Are there not enough grains of sand? Are there not enough leaves on the tree? Where around you, your body's got more than 70 trillion cells. And where do you see not enough in any dimension, in any direction? What an incredible story we've told ourselves. There's not enough. There is more. I would actually challenge, in economics, our teacher used to tell us that there are limited resources. I would say, no, I don't agree. I don't agree. This is a belief system that there are limited resources. There is unlimited resourcefulness. And with resourcefulness comes in unlimited resources. If you think there are limited resources, it becomes true for you. If you believe there are unlimited resources, unlimited resourcefulness, then that also becomes true for you. We have to challenge some of the basic paradigms which are running our world. And economics has got some really damaging paradigms built into it. Which really, like, for example, let's increase the gross national product. Let's cut down all the forests. We'll increase GDP. With a broken system, that's not the way it works, right? We've gotten hypnotized by a way of thinking which is just not based on a balanced way of looking at the world. The third way that we are, third virus thought is that we're all separate. I'm separate from you. My right hand is separate from my left hand. My right ear is separate from my left ear. My left brain is separate from my right brain. No, it's not. It's all connected. It's all interconnected. We're not even physically meeting. And isn't there a hive mind happening over here? Aren't we all joining in this consciousness for the last so many hours we've been together? So we're all connected. And your own experience is going to tell you again and again and again. So listen to that. You are thoroughly tapped in and tuned in already. Now notice how you deviate from it. That's it. If you have to have a practice, notice the deviation and now come back. Notice those 3 virus thoughts and turn it into Purnamada Purnamidam. I am whole and complete. I am perfect exactly the way I am. And the parts that I forget, that is God taking a break from being God. Even God needs a vacation, man. God needs a vacation from being God. God wants to take a break. God wants to forget for a while. And so God chooses to have a dream. Let's have a dream of being Nithya Shanti. Let's have a dream of being Barkha. Right. And that's part of the game. So I am whole and complete. There is more than enough of everything for everyone. In the dimension of energy, in the dimension of light, and the dimension of consciousness, there is no limitation. And we are all one, shining like the sun, here to have a lot of fun. Tolerating my puns. And Rashmi is saying, Nithya, if you just enjoy being, then our journey of passion and progress and materialistic achievement will stop, isn't it? Actually, it's the opposite. You will find such a huge explosion of creativity. Check. You know, I know you do. You're a creative person. Check. Does your creativity really come from busyness and activity, or does it come from a silent moment of inspiration? Go and check. The best inspiration. You've designed clothes for me as well, Rashmi. So go and check. Where did that inspiration to design that fancy kurta you made? Where did it come from? Did it come from a lot of overthinking? It came from some impetus inside. Let's do this for Nithya, right? The whole universe comes out of a silence. At the center of a hurricane, the most powerful natural systems is a hurricane. At the center of a storm system, of a hurricane, is absolute silence, stillness. At the center of a galaxy is silence and stillness. At the center of a spinning wheel is silence and stillness. That is the place from which everything else emanates. So you'll not just stop. In fact, you will have an explosion of creativity. You will have an explosion of ideas. And then you will sense what is the right one for you. You will use your inner guidance to sense out of all the possibilities what's there. But don't take my word for it. Test it out. And Sarata says, how do we, Nithya, be aware of our Brahma state? You become aware of your Brahma state by being, you can start your day by saying, may I be a channel of blessings. Instead of saying, what can I get today? Say, what can I bring today? What can I bring to each person and each event and each activity of my day? What can I bring to this? Now, what can I get from this? Instead of coming for this session, what can I get? Can I get lots of appreciation from you? Can I get a lot of people following me on social media? That's one intention. But what can I bring to this? I want to bring my natural self to this. I want to bring my lucidity to this. I want to bring my wholeheartedness to this. I want to bring my quirkiness to this. I want to bring my humor to this. I want to be an open channel of blessings. And then that is in touch with my Brahma side. My Brahma side is that. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. And wonder and gratitude and elation and celebration and everything else you can imagine. It's all there. Right? So shift from what can I get to what can I bring to each aspect of your life. And Malika says, you said something about Rigpa. Yeah, R-I-G-P-A. Rigpa is the Tibetan word, which means sky-like intelligence. So you could say, I'm the sky. In fact, if you can say it aloud with me, it's a powerful statement. I'm the sky. Everything else is weather. I am the sky. Everything else is weather. So all these moods and these thoughts and these activities, this is all weather. But I am the sky. I am the screen on which this universe is projected. So that's a Rigpa. And then we come into Shenpa. Shenpa is stickiness. So I out of all the possibilities, I tune into this particular thing that I'm doing, or this thought I'm having, this emotion I'm having, or this person did something to me, or something I need to achieve, I'm not able to achieve it. That's my Shenpa. That's the stickiness. So our whole journey is just from sticky to open, from attachment to intelligence, which is the awareness, right? Nothing sticks here. So Rigpa. So, and it's not something you achieve, it's something you recognize. You already are that. You are that sky-like intelligence. And all these Brahmaviharas are taking you there. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. Upeksha is the stepping ground into, from Upeksha you just step right into the Rigpa state. There are these five, as you begin practicing these things, you will go through 5 steps of your deepening. Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagrata. Vitakka is initial application. So for example, I said to you, let's have the intention, may all beings be happy. Okay, so you said, may all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. And then you thought, hey, have I paid the newspaper bill yet? Have I paid the electricity bill yet? So the Vitakka is not strong enough, right? So it's Vitakka, then you go into some other thought. Oh, I was supposed to, may all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. I'm a little hungry. Isn't the breakfast time? So you see, it's not really stable yet. But as you keep going, then the Vitakka becomes Vichara. So instead of drops here, drop, 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 it starts becoming a flow. So may I be happy, may all beings be happy. May I be happy, may all beings be happy. May all beings be truly happy, truly happy, truly happy. And now it's become like a stream, moment by moment by moment. So this becomes Vichara. Vitakka is initial application, Vichara is sustained application. With sustained applications comes Piti. Piti is a kind of joy. As you practice, a kind of inherent natural joy starts arising. Wow, this is good stuff. This is nice. This is better than all the things I normally do in a day. Why don't I do this more often? So an inner joy starts arising. This is called Piti. And as Piti is still a little bit exciting, then as Piti goes ahead, Piti stabilizes into what's called Sukha. Sukha is like a stable, balanced peace. Happiness, Sukha, deeper happiness, which is not so jumpy as Piti. And from Sukha comes Ekagrata, or Ekagrata in Pali, which is a stable, one-pointed, unshakable mind. When all these 5 factors get stabilized, you have your first proper step into that new dimension of consciousness, which we are all aspiring towards. It's called the first jhana. Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, and Ekagrata. You step into the first jhana. Beautiful. It's like now you're realizing why you were really born. You were not just born to fool around like this. You were born to really understand the deeper potential within you. Like a solid upgrade has happened. And now, instead of adding more stuff, you start eliminating, now you start dropping stuff. So what happens? The Vitakka drops. In fact, Vitakka, Vichara both drop first. So you drop the, whatever you were thinking, may all beings be happy, that drops. And now all that's left is Piti, Sukha, and Ekagrata. Piti is that joy, Sukha is that stable happiness, and Ekagrata is that one-pointedness. Second jhana, second level of deepening, second density. Next one, even Piti is a little exciting, so that also drops. So you just left with Sukha and Ekagrata, third jhana. Even the Sukha drops, even the happiness drops, but even happiness has got a distortion to it. So now you just have Ekagrata. And the Buddha says, this is the foundation from which you can now properly investigate reality. Before this, there's just too much going on. There's just too many things here, there, and everywhere. I mean, it's like such a shaky, you're trying to use a microscope, and you're shaking it so much, you're trying to understand reality. Oh my goodness. Let things settle down. See, there's nothing wrong with your practice right now, but understand there's the deepening that's possible for all of us. So the reason we practice these Brahmaviharas is to really penetrate the illusion and to see things the way they really are. So Ekagrata, the 4th jhana, becomes the solid, that's what the Buddha used, the 4th jhana, as the place to now investigate what is reality. What is this life? What is this body? What is this mind? What are the elements in this body? It's like you've got an electron microscope, and I think nowadays you've even gone beyond electron microscope. The most powerful scientific instrument possible. And now you're penetrating, cutting through all the layers of stuff, all the stories, you're just cutting through. Earlier, you were like trying to cut down a massive tree with a plastic spoon. Best of luck. But now you've got a chainsaw, right? And now you're just cutting through illusion after illusion, lifetime after lifetime, thick layers of stuff you were carrying, just dissolving right in front of you like clouds. So that's the reason we practice. We want to deepen this inner strength that we have. And it just cuts through stuff. It's like shining a bright light in a dark room. And the Brahmaviharas are taking us there. This is the deeper potential here. And that is what is revealing our sky-like intelligence. Until then, we are so caught up in the density of who we think we are, who we believe we are, all the stories we have and other people have projected onto us. So again, it's not about creating a distance between you and that, but it's recognizing that it's all available. It's not even a onward path, it's an inward path. The next step is not out there. The next step is in here. It's about you releasing. You see, it's not about gaining the next thing. It's about you dropping the vichara, dropping the initial application, sustained application, coming to joy, dropping the joy, coming to happiness, dropping the happiness, coming to ekagrata. And at some point, dropping everything. And that's a rikpa, when nothing has to be held anymore. And now you have penetrated what never needed to be penetrated, right? You're back home. And now you're wide awake within the dream. What are the daily practice that you recommend? I actually want to have a very simple daily practice for you. Look in the mirror and say, so in your case, Kashish, just for today, what if there's nothing wrong with you? And just go with that practice. I'm not going to give you any more practice. Just take that practice and just see where it takes you. Because that's the foundation. Dupinder, is there a switch between the various dimensions, like an instant switch from one level of being to the other? Can we say there is a shield to protect, to shield at any moment? Is there a switch from physical to energy to light to being? Or is the transition automatic? I mean, I don't think it's such a clear demarcation. I think it's kind of flowing from one to the other. And is there a switch from an ice state to a liquid state to a gaseous state? No, it's kind of a flow, right? It's interconnected. So I don't think it's a discrete thing like that. So it flows from one thing to the other. As you drop resistance, because ultimately, what is it? What is this dimension? It's just resistance. The more resistant you are, the more solid. Like when you're going in a car and you put your hand out, the wind is so heavy, so strong, right? You put your hand out like this. You put it like this, suddenly it becomes less. With this, it's more. With this, it's less. Why? Because now the wind is not having so much surface area anymore. So same way, the resistance as it drops, it becomes easier and easier. And from this, as you go to this, it becomes even less, you see? So stop resisting. As you resist less and less, and which is why gratitude is so powerful. Because the more you have gratitude, or you can practice Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Then it's just, resistance is just getting dissolved. And you're naturally shifting from one of the states of consciousness to the other. Can we talk about chakras? How is it connected? Yeah, chakras are the different densities within you. I don't really talk too much about chakras. I think you can experience it yourself. These are all, you will experience in your own journey, you will feel. In today's practice, the heart chakra definitely has begun opening. Even they're all connected, of course. When one opens, all of them start to get balanced and open. But I would just say that, everything in you is in the right place. So you have sexual desires, they're in the right place. You have a survival instinct, it's in the right place. You have a desire to become more you and more ambitious and more expressive and to stand out, that's also in its right place. You have a desire to serve people and be there for people, that's in the right place. You have a desire to speak your truth and be authentic, that's in the right place. You have a desire to look deeply into the nature of things and penetrate the deeper reality, Agya Chakra, that's in the right place. And you have a sense that you are one with everyone and everything, that's in the right place. Everything is in the right place. And so all these, basically it's about coming into alignment. What if there's nothing wrong with me? What if there's nothing wrong with my sexuality, with my survival instinct, with my desire to achieve an ambition and all of that stuff? And what if there's nothing wrong with any of these things? I love and accept myself. What if it's perfect? What if this dream of God, the way it's showing up here, is exactly the way it's meant to be? It starts getting aligned. The only thing keeping your chakras out of alignment is your resistance. I'll tell you a funny thing. I was, years back, I had to meet someone who was supposed to be very holy and very clairvoyant. So they say, oh, this person can see your aura and they can see your chakras. Oh my goodness, he can see my aura. So I got very embarrassed. He's going to see me. He's going to see all the messed up thoughts I have and all the way that I'm selfish and this and that and all the rest. So I was kind of, it's like you're going naked to someone. This person can see your auras. But when I went to this person, such a loving person, such a down-to-earth person, such an open-hearted person, it's like everything is like, there was no judgment there. And that's when I got it. only when you have gone beyond your judgments, your resistance, do all these things become available to you. So it takes him having come to peace with all his chakras and his aura and all his inner judgments. It's about him quenching that, which gives him access to that. A person who's not done that work will not have access to it. So only when you have let go of your judgments do you now have an ability to see so deeply into other people. And you will, but you'll not judge them. You lost that ability to judge. And how beautiful that was. Right. So it's all right, whatever your aura is, whatever your chakras are, just love them. Love them to bits the way they are. That's exactly, you don't have to have a heart any more open than it is. You don't have to have an Agya chakra anymore. Like, I don't see auras. I don't. And yeah, so, all right, somebody sees auras, good for you, you know. That's not my setting. My life is simple enough. I don't need to see all these halos around people. I'm fine, right? And that doesn't say anything about my spiritual progress. We all have different settings based on what we've come here to do in this world. We have different settings, right? I can be with the 300 plus people here. I can be with all of you. And I'm not getting affected by your energy field. There are people who are so sensitive, even sitting here in front of the computer with all of these people, with all of these questions, all of these comments, they're getting affected by it. So my setting is, I've been designed in a way, because my life purpose is such, that I can handle it. I can handle 300 people. I can handle 300,000 people. It's all right. I'm not getting so easily affected by what they're projecting onto me. And that's my setting. But for somebody else, they're meant to work very deeply, incisively with people one-on-one. They need to be super open. And that's their setting. So whatever alignment you have of your chakras, of your way of thinking, that's what was meant for you. Just trust it. There's not a single atom that's out of place in this entire universe. Suppose we just go with that operating assumption. Right, so that's my discursive thoughts about chakras. Will you be sharing the recording? Yes, I will. And you can go to belucid.in, and in a day or two, I'll put it up there. Can you repeat the meaning of attention and intention? Attention is being present, and intention is the impulse you have. Any intention is always a concept. Attention is the way things are. And intention is some, like for example, may all beings be happy is an intention. May all of us today really have a deep upgradation of our basic operating system. For the rest of our life, maybe the best of our life. That's an intention, right? So attention, intention, attention, intention, used skillfully reveals our foundation. That's the only three things I really teach. I teach people to be present. I teach people to upgrade the stories that they tell, to be a master storyteller. And I teach people to look beyond both attention and intention to realize, where is all of this converging? Who is the one taking delivery of all of this? And when you go looking for that, you find there's nobody there. Oh my goodness, it was a process all along. It was a process all along. Oh my goodness, there was never a person here. It was just a zero. And that's when we get quenched. Right, so that's attention, intention. All right, there's a lot of questions. I think we can stop here. Beautiful. Lovely people. Let's hear from one more person. Kavita Gidwani, you want to go?
Hello, Nithya, can you hear me?
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for this session. But sometimes we know that all these are very good, like Mudita and Karuna, but sometimes in daily interaction, we do get a bit jealous or is it like, how do we then deal with such things, jealous or angry or upset?
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations that you notice it. There are people in this world who will just blame the other person. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's the other person. Look at the other person. Look at what they're doing. So the awareness that you even have jealousy, that you even have resentment, that you even have these things, that is the first very important step. You realize what the issue is. And you've at least begun taking some responsibility for it. Otherwise, you're completely, the other person did it. So the first awakening is just look at what I'm doing. They did whatever they did. But look at, I'm either making it worse, or I'm kind of neutral with it, or I'm going in the direction of resolving this. And now today you've got some tools, you've got some practices. You've got some practices like Brahmaviras. You've got some practices like, what if there's nothing wrong with me, right? And so now you start applying the things you've learned. And not only what's wrong, what is there nothing wrong with me, what is there nothing wrong with them?
Yes.
And what if there's nothing wrong with anybody? And what if there's nothing wrong with the situation? Yes, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling agitated, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling jealous. And for once in my life, let me not get angry with anger. Let me not get jealous with jealous. Why am I going 2 levels deep? There's already suffering. The Buddha says we have one dart, we put a second dart. I mean, as it is, you're suffering. Then you add another thing to it. Why? Why are you pushing it further in? It's there. So anger has arisen. Now don't resist the anger. Now fear has arisen. Don't resist the fear. What's going to happen? You're going to tremble. You're going to shake. Your nervous system can handle it. Your nervous system can handle a great deal. It's your mind that starts fluctuating. So get out of your head and into your body. Breathe deeper. Feel it. What's going to happen? You've been through so much. Kavita, haven't you been through so much in your life? And you're still here. You've survived it. You're going to be fine. So now the only difference is it comes up. Of course, it's unpleasant. I'm sorry for judging you. Please forgive me. I love you and I thank you. Now it's come to say goodbye. Now this anger. So the difference that's happened is, as we were doing this process today, I got an image of a tree in autumn. And I got a real sense that every one of us here today, autumn has been triggered. What does it mean? Autumn has been triggered. A shedding has been triggered. From this moment onwards, Kavita, whatever anger comes up, it's not here to tell you that you're an angry person. It's coming to say goodbye to you. The anger, the jealousy, the meanness, it's coming to say goodbye to you. Let it say goodbye. Say, I love you. Thank you. And it's gone. It's gone forever. A shedding is happening. So autumn has been triggered. A shedding is happening. Things will still come up, but they're not coming up to be entrenched. They're coming up to say goodbye. So let them go. Gracefully let them go. And for you also, this poem, go look up the poem called The Guest House by Rumi. Just Google it. The Guest House by Rumi. You recite that poem every day. That is your homework.
Thank you so much. Actually, the anger is not it comes very rarely, and I don't like it. Like if I don't like replying back or confrontations or things like that. So I feel it small pain. I don't like it when I get angry at someone, even very rarely. So that is the main problem. I think I'm giving it too much of importance.
Yeah.
So otherwise, thank you very much. We had a wonderful session. So,
Neelima, if you're still there, I'd love for you to speak. How do I find you? Because Neelima is the one who encouraged me to do the session. Let me find Neelima if she's not gone. Neelima, there you are, Neelima. Neelima, please, your turn.
Hello.
Hello,
Nithya.
hello.
Oh my gosh. I've just been kind of sitting here, standing here, spontaneously doing mudras and asanas, just letting your transmission flow through my whole body and mind and spirit. And I'm just in such joy and gratitude to you, Nithya, because when we created the Truth and Reconciliation weekend, this weekend for the Guru Purnima, for American independence, as the racial riots broke out last full moon, I had the inspiration to convene such a thing, a decentralized movement. All of us who are doing consciousness work, how can we help shift the consciousness and heal the past? And I realized the Brahmaviharas are key. They're the simplest, most beautiful thing from our ancient traditions, from the Buddha. And then who would be a better person than you, Nithya? So I reached out to you to say, Nithya, would you do this on Guru Purnima? And you just immediately sent a yes, and you made this happen. And I can just feel how something has been shifted in the collective. So just beyond grateful to you, Nithya.
Beautiful.
Just so grateful to you.
Thanks for nudging me into doing this. And I think a lot of people have felt, in fact, a lot of people were asking me, are you doing something? Are you doing something? Yeah, we're doing this Brahmavihara thing. And we're going to be having this session. How can people find out about the other things that are happening? What is the website for them?
They go to truthandreconciliation.net.
Truth and AND is and
yes.
And reconciliation.
And reconciliation.
Maybe if you put it in the comments as well, then
I'm
people
putting it right now. And
they can sign up. There are things happening till today evening, right?
Yes, there's also a Facebook page called Truth and Reconciliation.
All right.
TRW Movement.
Beautiful.
So the whole list of events is also there. Links are there to just get in quickly. Literally people, facilitators, teachers, trainers, coaches, gurus from all over the world and all traditions, ancient and modern, offering things for our shift.
Yeah.
So that we can all
Really
achieve truth and reconciliation.
fantastic collection. I mean, it just shows what a powerful Sangha you've built, that you've been able to connect with all these wonderful teachers, and they've all shown up. I was really getting amazed with the list of people there.
Yes, it all began with the friends like you, as you remember, Nithya.
Amazing. So beautiful. You really made the Chitta Sangha happen, Nilima.
Yes. Yes.
Nilima and I were part of a group called Chitta Sangha. These are people in India and some from abroad who were talking about how can we, those of us who work directly with a shift in consciousness, how can we come together and learn from each other? And for 2 or 3 years, it was a very regular meetings we'd have every few months. And we've all learned, so I think we've all grown from that so much. And what we do today is informed by that.
Can I quickly speak on that concept? You know, the word chit and the word chitta are different in the yogic tradition. And sometimes I look back and say, see, chitta is that part of the mind which is still full of many vrittis and so on, you know. So the learning we all had, we had to go through the cleansing of our own chitta when we created that Sangha back in 2009, 10, you know. It's so beautiful. We've come a long way. And as they say, healer, heal thyself. You can't really teach the world until you have done the work yourself. So,
How can
yes,
people
thank
do
you.
fantastic work with the divine feminine and in a very practical way, bringing it to, especially the corporate world, which is really ruled by the masculine? How do people find out about your work and your book and things?
So the book I've written is called Shakti Leadership, and you can find it on shaktileadership.com. And this I co-authored with Raj Sisodia, who is the co-founder of the Conscious Capitalism Movement. He's a professor at Babson University in Boston. So I've put in that link as well. And it's really about how do we bring more healthy feminine energy to leadership, not to replace masculine energy, but to raise up masculine energy into its balance. So overall, it's the same thing we all teach, Nithya, with different words. But the Shakti aspect is that with your consciousness, with your Shiva Tattva, so to speak, with your presence, also comes the, the, the power to create something good in the world. So I think using your language, if attention is Shiva, then intention is Shakti. And if you put them two together, you kind of transcend even that duality. So, and we can all find that balance in ourselves regardless of our gender. In very practical terms, how do we show up as whole leaders with our full power? That is what Shakti leadership is about. And I teach that in the corporate world. I have a change makers program for women called the Shakti Fellowship. It's a global program with the University of San Diego. So you can find all that on the website as well.
I was giving your example, Nilima, to some groups. We were having a chat I don't know, maybe last year or something. And you were talking about how you were concerned about what's happening in Burma and what's happening in Sri Lanka and what's happening with, women in here. I was like, wow, your consciousness operates at the country level. Many of our consciousness operates at, okay, my home and, my organization. But you've got yourself to a level where you're thinking of, what's happening with women in this country, what's happening with people here. I said, that's so cool, and how we can expand our consciousness and therefore your circle of influence and the fact that you're able to make a change at this level because you have a love at that level and a care at that level and a consciousness at that level. So I was giving your example to someone.
So Nithya, thank you. I need to then, of course, acknowledge my gurus on this day, Swami Shivananda of the Divine Life Society of Rishikesh, and his yoga is called the Yoga of Synthesis. And then, of course, the Integral Yoga of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, who talk about a synthesis of yoga. And my inspiration, you were talking about how is your setting. My setting is to create human unity, is to find the best in all the world traditions, that every nation and every people has a unique gift to bring to the whole, and only when they bring that are we going to be united as a one people. So I have to operate at that level.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nilima. Wonderful. And Anjali was very keen to speak. So Anjali, you're the last person, then we're going to close. Go ahead, Anjali.
Happy Guru Purnima, Nithya. Thank you so much. My main reason to unmute myself is to say thank you to you. I'm feeling and experiencing deeper silence. Thank you so much. And I just want to say that you're such an amazing and beautiful instrument of all your gurus and life. Thank you.
Thank you. How wonderful. And that I would like to echo that blessing back to you and to every single person who's still with us on this call. That we've been inspired by many people, and may the best qualities of all these people spontaneously get condensed and activated within us. I used to do this meditation where I would imagine all my teachers like a mandala, a teacher in front, a teacher behind, to the right, to the left, in all the diagonal directions, in all the upper diagonal, lower diagonal. And I would completely surround myself with my favorite teachers. And I would imagine all of them radiating their absolute best qualities to me. And I would just sit there and receive. And sometimes I'd even ask them, like Sri Aurobindo, can I have your vision? And the Buddha, can I have your awareness? And Mahavatar Babaji, can I have your youthfulness? And just kind of taking in all these amazing qualities from all of these wonderful teachers. And so that's the beautiful potential here. We are beings of light, and we are not limited to physical constraints unless you believe you are. So go ahead, and today, why not do that? Think of your favorite teachers, whether they're in the horizontal dimension or in the vertical dimension that we talked about, whether they're in the realm of creating a better world or waking up from the dream of this world. Either way, you think of your favorite teachers and you invite them to give you their best qualities. And at the level of light, you weave it into your own fabric. And that's how it works. And now this starts, and you become a channel of blessings in that way. You've just got to invite it. It's literally like the movie The Matrix. You just literally download it. And before you know it, that's who you are. So that's my beautiful, loving wish for everybody here in Guru Purnima. Don't create a distance between you and a guru. Don't put your guru high up there on a pedestal. You're going to get disappointed, because that guru sooner or later will not match your arbitrary expectations. Your guru is not a person. Your guru is a state. And that state, the reason you're attracted to that person is because you have that state within you. And that state says, I want to blossom. And then you find someone around outside that seems to be holding that at some frequency and seems to be embodying that at some level. And that's why you're really attracted, magnetized by that person. But it was never about the person. That person is just a hanger, or is just a portal through which that state is accessed. So when we understand this, we have a true understanding of Guru Purnima. We don't overly idolize people. Of course, people are wonderful. They're the container in which that happens. But we look beyond the container into the essence. And that essence is not outside. It is within us. That's why we recognize it in them. So with that understanding, let's end with Mangal Maitri, sending good wishes to all. You can repeat after me if you like. Mera Mangal, Mera Mangal. Mera Mangal hoye re. Tera Mangal, Tera Mangal. Tera Mangal hoye re. Sabhi ka Mangal, Sabhi ka Mangal. सभी का मंगल होए रे। जन जन मंगल, जन जन मंगल। जन जन सुखिया होए रे। दसों दिशाओं के सब प्राणी मंगल लाभी हों मेरे। निर्भय हों निर्वैर बने सब। सभी निरामय हों मेरे। Tera mangal, tera mangal. Mera mangal, mera mangal. Sabhi ka mangal, sabhi ka mangal. Sabhi ka mangal ho re. And we'll all chant Om together and then Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Take a deep breath. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the fragrance of truth, may the fragrance of silence, may the fragrance of the Brahmaviharas, infinite loving kindness, infinite compassion, infinite appreciative joy, infinite equanimity, balance of mind. May the uncontrived fragrance of all these beautiful states of being, which are your true inheritance, which are who you really are, may they always emanate from you, whether or not you consciously think of them. And for the rest of your life, may you be a beautiful channel of blessings. With the beautiful upgrade that's happened today, you permanently shift from seeing yourself as a physical being, seeing yourself as an energy being, to now recognizing yourself as a light being and everything as a play of consciousness. May you be happy for a good reason. May you be happy for no reason. May you enjoy Zero's journey. Zero's journey of just being. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And we are done. Beautiful. Thank you all. You stayed on for an extra hour almost. Very impressed. Thank you, everybody. Beautiful. I will go through all your comments. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. And all the questions I didn't answer, you have it within you. So please check in. You have the answer within you. Right? Lovely. Lots of love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Be well. Beautiful. What a fun way to spend Guru Purnima together, right? So nice. All right, closing the meeting now. Take care.